a few months. I'm trying to pick myself up. I may be living alone, but I still believe in love. And although my flaws had dragged me down on the coldest night, I'm still kicking around. Then I saw you back before my time was shortened. No, throughout my life you called me a renegade. Throughout my loves you said we could start again, but I'm a renegade of your love. But I'm a renegade of your love.
Hi, I'm Hanzi and I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and today we're checking out the Nitro 5 by ASUT. This is honestly one of the smoothest gameplay experiences that I've had, especially on a laptop. The graphics are amazing, it's not laggy, it's very lightweight. The keyboard feels really nice to play with, and I love the RGB lights. Look how pretty they are. We love a rainbow. Yes! 4-star! 4-star character! If you're looking for a gaming laptop on the go, be sure to check out Ace's range.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AEL University League Season 1 for the upper bracket finals. My name is Proto. Joining me on the desk tonight is Commandant. We're here. It's going to be an absolute heater, Commandant. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Proto. First time casting with you, so thank you for having me on. Yeah, definitely Swinburgs versus RMIT Black, upper bracket finals. So it's a pretty high stakes match for both teams, but of course they still have the lower bracket chance if one does fall short. What do you think of today's matchup, Proto?
Today's matchup's going to be really good, I think. Obviously, RMIT Black and Swinister, two teams that have shown us in the past they've got what it takes. Definitely two very scary teams. I mean, Goofed and Peepo from Swinister, enough said, and then obviously RMIT Black, Axe Hydra, Jin, very big names coming along from them as well. But before we get into it, we do want to thank our sponsors. The AEL Uni is sponsored by Predator Gaming, the PC partner, AOC Monitors, the monitor partner, and RIG, the headset partner. So, Commandant, before you go into this, quick query. Our map pool today, Villa, Chalet, Club. Are you thinking we're going to see all three, or are you thinking this is going to be a quick twofer?
Well, I think it'd be a bit disappointing if they don't take it to 3 maps, considering it's such late in the competition. I would expect both teams to be of a high level and very similar competition. So obviously, I mean, if one team is very strong and they take 2-0, then of course, props to them. They're just a better team. But if it's 1-1 and they take it to the final map, of course, it's just going to be that much more interesting. Yeah, definitely would be great to see that both teams take it to the finals. Just like last week, it was a very good match to see. Both teams were comfortable on their respective maps, and at the end, very heated game, and it was a good job to both teams. So let's give our best hopes to the teams playing today.
Yeah, I mean, coming into this, obviously these two teams have had their moments of shine in previous seasons, even play days this season. 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, RMIT Black, Jin, I can't remember who they were versing. I mean, pulling off 1v5s, 4Ks every other round, setting the bar really, really high. They took their group, I believe, first place, putting them in the upper bracket. I'd imagine it's probably the same for Swinister. I haven't been too caught up with how they're going this season, but I'd imagine it's pretty well. They've usually got themselves up into the top side of the bracket majority of times that they've been together. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing them here. Obviously, for a spot in the grand final, these two teams are going to be giving it their all at the end of the day. That's all it is about. Villa, starting off for this evening, is our first map. We are just waiting for the confirmation on that one. But Swinster starting off on the defense, Commandant. Do you think that's going to have anything? Do you think that's going to provide them any benefit going into this first map? Do you think they're going to be able to walk away with the W?
Well, same as you, I haven't watched too closely on either team. Generally, Villa, I feel, is fairly comfortable on defense as well. Fairly large map. If they have roamers up and they're able to get some key operator bans, maybe a Jackal perhaps, just to help with roaming. I think roaming's probably one of the big plays on Villa. Probably the biggest headache for attackers. But yeah, I mean, it's just like any map on Siege. If you have good droning, keep the roamers at bay, of course. And if the defenders aren't holding or aren't challenging attackers and not controlling any territory and just giving up easily, of course, it's an easy win for attackers on the flip side. And of course, at the end, you get like a bunch of mishmash of bullets, kills going on either side, eventually a 1v1, and it comes down to a gunfight half the time. So, you know, you can't really predict these things. It can go either way, regardless, whoever starts defense or attack. So we're just going to start now with the bans, and classic Thatcher ban going down. Do you think there might be a cheeky Fink ban with such high LMG action going around? Oh,
yeah, I guess
predicted that. Yeah, I'm a bit sad.
I think it's had a lot of prominence given, you know, the self-res or the team res, should I say, buff, as well as obviously the grenades, gone 6. But in saying that, she is an operator that most teams rely on, given that there is a lot of chip damage involved now. You've got nitros, you've got smokes, etc., etc., etc. So there's definitely that. Finker being gone is a big thing here. RMIT Black not really going to risk leaving that one up. Valkyrie to follow, and then Mirror, as always, to kick off the end side of the ban and put us into round number 1. Swinster starting on the defense. They don't want to leave the Mirror up. They had the chance, but it's an operator that we've seen teams learn to get rid of and do well without now, given that the ban phase has been around for so long. So not a real surprise that she is going and not going to be crutch picked here by Swinster, but they're probably pretty comfortable. They probably have their strategies in place. Obviously, Peepo, Puppy Rico, Distance, Goofed, and Nietzsche, the roster that we've seen some pretty big things for in previous seasons, including this one. So I'd imagine going up against RMIT Black tonight, they're going to have some interesting strategies up their sleeves. Obviously, Pluto from Kraken being a big name on the side of RMIT Black. OCN now himself, almost said OCL there. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, RMIT Black are definitely very scary in their own respect as well. So coming into this is probably one of the most even matchups we've seen in the Uni League for this season, and I'd imagine a pretty decent one.
Yeah, I believe both teams, as you said, they have players that are in higher scenes, I would say. So of course, do you think we'll see that they are carrying their team, or you reckon everyone's going to be able to pull equal weight? Because I find it is pretty disappointing, or not very fun to watch when one person's a bit too strong out of all the others.
Having someone frag isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, we've we see RMIT Black, we've seen Jin be in that role before. As I was mentioning at the start, he's, had those 1v5, that 1v5 actually on Villa in 2 weeks ago, I believe, in Playday. But obviously Pluto can do that job as well, being from Kraken, he has that knowledge. Axe Hydra does have the ability to clutch up rounds when required as well, so given that that is available to them, they do have this fragging prowess. As I say that, Jin to start things off, Goofed is there for the trade, so 4 for 4, but they are able to sometimes crutch on the ability to frag here. RMIT Black, both teams actually in respect, have that sort of something to fall back on if strategy isn't necessarily working. Obviously, we've seen Goof drop 20 bombs in the Uni League before. We've seen Peepo pick things up, distance, multiple champs. So there we go. Goof's already good for a second, and it's looking like it's going to be a kill-hungry game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm liking the aggression coming out from the attack team. Although not quite going their way, still good pickup, as you said. I was interested in that Nook coming up from the basement very stealthily. And now we're going to see an engagement here, but Goof picking up another onto the Nomad, and another one falls, and it's
He's
all up
on
to
for an
Pluto.
ace!
Or can he clutch it out? Pluto in a 1v4 situation, probably not the best, but at least you've got some anti-intelligence just to annoy with the defenders a little bit, but I'm not sure it's going to help out
Goof,
very well.
turn around, Goofed.
Do you think he's going to be able to pick it up? He does hear him. Crosshair is pretty close, so if he does peek out, this could be a potential play. I think Pluto might be droning it out. No, he does find him, comes into contact, is going to pull back, gets a nice pick onto the Lucy. Now he's going to probe now. With 1 minute to go, he's pretty kill hungry. Unfortunately denied the ace. I think you spoke too early, Proto. Now Nade's got to come up, potentially catching on the default spot, but no. Good spider senses, and he walks off scot-free. 50 seconds to go, and diffuses pretty far dropped from sight.
2 minutes on, and Goof goes down, unfortunately. It is all up to Nichi and Peepo. He's going to be able to go retrieve the diffuser, which was left by the Astro Stairs, and make his way through Trophy and Statue, or at least he's going to go through one of them to find these 2 kills. Pluto has the ability to win this round. 2 kills are the only thing that is separating him between that victory and this, but he's going to need a 4K of his own to make this one happen for his team. The default camera and the bulletproof are actually going to spot him out there. So the position now known inside of 90 with only 15 left to work with. He's going to have to make his way towards the site. Having the FMG in hand is going to be a big tool, especially with 1.5. Nitro to come out, not going to connect. He needs to find both. One inside of the vault, one inside of Aviator, and he's not going to get either. They're both just going to play on the time. Swinister, they're going to walk away with round number 1, and a really good way to start the board off the back of some pretty big plays from Goofed.
Yeah, but likewise, I like that Proto was still keeping the game, keeping us engaged, and he's definitely had a good chance. Nitro was nice enough to open an alternate entry for him, but yeah, just ran out of time unfortunately. But good to see Proto fragging it out, picking up some kills, although it didn't matter in the end. Nice job to Swinister to picking up the first round of the map, as we're going to head over to probably Trophy and Games. Trophy and Statues. Do you think attack is going to change up anything, or you reckon maybe better drone work is needed, considering the early frags just not in their favor?
It really comes to what RMIT Black want to achieve. Obviously, they're a roster that has a pretty consistent attacking lineup. Villa is the map where you can have a consistent attacking lineup and just bring the same operators with obviously variance in 1 or 2. We see that variance from Pluto this round. He's going to be busting out the Twitch instead of the Knock. Obviously, it didn't provide them too much of a benefit in the last round. So good to see that they've changed that up. It didn't really work for them, so get some different utility on the board. They do have the IQ as well from Raindrops. That was a pick off to back on, so not really a big change. But given the choices they have, it's going to be a downstairs take, I'd imagine, for RMIT Black. But yeah, droning was a big issue for them. The lack of information that they had that round was a pretty big thing for them, provided that Goof was allowed to pretty much just walk away with 4 unanswered kills. I mean, there was no refrag. He didn't actually even get damaged, I believe, in the whole gunfight until he actually came up against Pluto. So in saying that, RMIT Black are going to have to be doing something differently here, and whether that is in sort of inducing some more drones or maybe even bringing a Jackal. He is available in play. We are yet to see him for RMIT Black. So something in terms of information needs to be done. But at the moment, Swinister, a little bit of a roam going on, but nothing too special right now. The leading RMIT gained some ground, and they are going to be getting that wall from below with raindrops on the IQ.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that no operators have bought frags, in fact, to potentially get a free pick. Just going to rely on the IQ, I guess, and Sophia to get the easy picks on the utility. Nice first pick there. Taking out the Twitch, the top fragger from last round, Pluto. That's a nice pickup there. And once again, as you said, I feel like it's a bit of poor drone work coming out. They're kind of just going in and not quite confident in taking ground by the attackers. The defender roam is quite strong, or I guess pretty lucky so far. Beluga's gonna get slightly tagged as he tries to challenge the person playing in statue. He's just gonna keep it safe for now. But yeah, the attack has slowed down. Still half the round to go, of course, so there's plenty of play making to occur. But I'm a bit concerned that none of RMIT Black have really entered the building or taken any significant ground. One person has pushed all the way through bathroom, but he is a bit stranded. The Nomad is going to be pushing out with someone playing below. Lucy is going to be flashed out of Astro, but is supported by his teammate. Nice job there by the Jaeger just to challenge bottom Astro so Lucy won't get pinched, and of course she picks up the kill on bathroom. Papi is going to pull back now. Gonna find an alternate place to camp as the Ace is trying to challenge that spot as well. It's kind of falling apart for RMIT Black. They pick up another kill, of course, but Ace gets taken down very low. And good refrag there with 36 seconds to go as the kills all ring out. And only Ace left on the board with 1 HP left. But this can go either way, of course, as Jaeger's still fairly heavily tagged with 25 seconds to go. And it's a very close match indeed.
Axe Hydra in the 1v1, Papi Rico got the health advantage, also now the information with the Malusi charge to give him away, and he's going to be able to clutch that up from inside of Astro deep behind the desk, distance holding on for the longest period of time in there, getting 2 kills, I believe, in the round. But ultimately, Jaeger the one to shut things down, and very well done. Close round there for RMIT Black, but unfortunately the execute was not in their favour. They got players up Astro through bathroom, but it was not enough. Swinister had the positional advantage, obviously utility there to aid them in that hold as well. So very well done from them. It's going to be a, well, so far flawless site rotation. They're going to make their way downstairs to dining kitchen. Both of the previous sites obviously locked due to the site rotation. That is competitive ruling for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, kitchen, no surprise we're seeing the polls, but the Mute Mozzie combo coming in here is something of note. Obviously, we've talked about there being drone issues so far for RMIT Black. The introduction of this combo on the bottom floor not only is going to make this pulse play from distance a lot more scary, but it is also going to make that already struggling drone game for RMIT Black just that little bit harder.
Yeah, I reckon hopefully RMIT Black are just warming up on their drone work there. I don't think the operator choice was quite there, as I don't believe the Ace managed to get the wall open because the Kaid was still tricking that triple wall on bedroom. Presented extra difficulties, of course, pushing in. They made a nice attempt at the end there, trying to get up.
5 seconds left.
Heading out to ball one, just gonna have to see if this round's gonna... Sorry, I cut out there, I believe. But yeah, once again, hopefully their drone work improves.
You did, yeah.
Interesting that they have switched off from the sledge, because the sledge provides so much useful vertical play. But of course the Jackal is very useful as well. It might make up for their drone game a little bit. So let's just see how this works out coming into the 3rd round.
It's going to be interesting. Obviously they've had some struggles so far. And they've changed a couple of things around. Raindrops on the Jackal. Jin was switched over onto the Zofia, but he's not going to be doing too much for the remainder of this round. Taken down early on. The live drone not quick on the call. Pulse there to clean up the first kill. Pluto has jumped over onto... oh, I've had an absolute mental blank. Who's Pluto playing?
He's playing Osa.
Osa, that's the one. Thank you very much. Osa ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. You think we do this more than it being a hobby, but OSA, the one that Pluto is bringing along. We will see a second pick to come out, and that is the ace to go. So all the hard breaching capabilities now for RMIT Black completely wiped off the board. It's going to make things infinitely harder for them, provided that they do not have any top floor control. Pluto now going down to be confirmed. Beluga is there for the trade, but it's too late at this point. 2 versus 4, and RMIT Black just cannot seem to get a grip on what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just the drone work. I have to say, I don't know. They need to listen to me. I don't know how they're going to prove the drone work, because all I'm saying is improve the drone work. But 1-4s and the final kill goes to...
Distance on the pulse, very well done.
Yeah, very confident. I'm just not seeing what RMIT Black can do better, because I feel they're trying too hard to get the entry frag picks. They're not really supported by drones. They're not supported by a second teammate for a refrag, and just going down one by one. Maybe Osta should have gone in at first. At least she can use her shield to provide some safety with the shielding, of course, to protect her from getting killed. Even just knowing beforehand that there is someone there, they might be able to win the gunfight. But of course, if you don't have the information, winning by skill alone is much more difficult. And this is something RMIT Black needs to solve very soon, because it's a full rotation of defense for Swinister, and they're looking good. 0-3. Everyone doing their part and on their team. And of course, Goof's going out with 8-2, very strong indeed, followed by Happy and Distance, of course, pulling it up. And of course, even though they're the other 2 on 0, it doesn't matter, because they're winning the game. They're doing their job as supports with the utility placement and just preventing them from getting on site. So everyone's doing a good job on Swinister. RMIT Black need to figure something out coming into the 4th round of the defense, of the attack, sorry.
100%. It's getting pretty dire, but yeah, Swinster, I mean, as you mentioned, support players obviously doing their job. It's not all about kills at the end of the day. Well, yes, getting kills is lovely, especially as the roamer. Even the lowly support player can have frags at the end of the day. But given that Goofed is Goofed and he does goof things, I'm not surprised that he is finding all the frags right now for Swinster when he is allowed to do whatever he wants to do in terms of roaming and entering. He is a formidable opponent to come up against for any team, seasoned or not. So it's no surprise we see him fragging out. But in saying that, RMIT Black, they're making their way in pretty quickly this time. They haven't lost a pick as of yet. And they've actually taken some pretty good ground here in the first 40 seconds, all the way through Master into Stat Trophy. They've sort of designated that a lot of it is clear. They've taken it pretty quickly here as well, forcing all the roamers from Swinster back to their secondary positions. We see bodies towards the red side. We see a couple players towards 90, maybe bar door. So it's a good spread right now for the defense. But RMIT Black, they're pretty focused on 90 right now. And it is going to be the attempted retake here. Goof, and I believe supported by Distance, coming all the way up to try and retake into 90 and at least put some pressure on.
Interesting that they have actually all stacked on that side of the map. It's a bit concerning. No one is actually going to be challenging Study at all, so defenders potentially can be also focused on that side and just kind of keep them at the choke here. It's going to be very difficult pushing through if you don't have any shields or smokes. You're just going to run Hail Mary through, and Goof picks up 2 free kills just like that. That's not what we want to see. That 90 repel coming in really late to actually provide cover for the RMIT to actually push in there. I think that might have been a miscommunication.
Goof.
And Goof picks up a triple kill onto raindrops as well. He is a menace. Still, he's 40 HP. Couple bullets can take him down, but that's if the couple bullets can hit him at all. Less than 1 minute to go. And once again, not looking too pretty for RMIT Black.
Not looking good at all. I mean, Goofed, 11-2, 4 rounds into the game, finding a 3K this round. He's looking for another one through the drone hole. Some good damage dealt to Pluto here. Not enough to get a frag, but it is going to be Nichi to shut down Axe, and it is going to be Goof to fall, unfortunately. No 4K for him. Pluto is going to end that tirade, but again, left in a 1vx situation. 1 HP is all that separates him from death and living. We'll find Puppy Rico for some compensation, but Peepo's there to finish things off. Pluto goes down, And the defense on Villa are looking absolutely formidable with Goofed at the helm.
Well, of course, you can't spell Swinister without win, and that's what's been happening so far. Going all 0-4 in their favor, very clean. RMIT Black definitely need to pick it up. I'm not quite sure, is this Swinister's map or is this RMIT's pick?
I do believe that this was RMIT Black's pick, Swinster picked side. No, sorry, Swinster map, RMIT
Oh,
Black
it's a
pick
Swinster
side.
map. Interesting
So,
that RMIT would actually pick the attack first.
attack
I
aside
guess maybe they wanted to get it out of the way. They probably...
Defenders protect your
and
bombs
yeah,
from
that
being
too.
defused by attackers.
But I mean, well, given past game days, Swinster, this is a map that they are very good at, statistically speaking. So, you know, not really surprising that it is their map pick. On top of that, though, as well, as you mentioned, RMIT Black picking the attack. This map is usually attacker-sided. You know, you look at the history of Villa, you'll usually look to end the half at a 4-2. But it looks like it's gone completely the other way. We haven't seen RMIT Black, other than the one round that they got it down to a 1v1. We have not seen them come significantly close to winning a round in all of the rounds that we've seen so far. But at the end of the day, given that this is one of the maps that Swinster are really good at, there is, again, no real surprise that we're seeing that from them right now. And on top of that, Goofed is just sort of going sicko mode. So... for RMIT Black, it's a bit of an unfortunate situation, but at the end of the day, they're making the best of the situation that they can.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if they pick up a couple maps and lose in the end, as long as they are able to win their own map pick in the next map, of course. But of course, you always want to apply pressure, even if it is their map. You want to make them feel a bit concerned and not feel too safe. Good pickup by Jin there. I think Malusi getting a bit cocky there, trying to just do a cheeky impact nade to distract Jin. Good early pickup there. I think the drone work might have improved a little bit, so hopefully that is the case. And nice drone work there on the players playing on the bedroom balcony, droning in for Yana and the Zafia as they come pushing through the study side. I think this attack feels a lot more coordinated, but unfortunately Goofed is just better. Takes out the Twitch earlier on, and he is just gonna keep holding the cubby area.
Yeah, it's going to be a big effort here, but Goofed is actually somehow going to walk away with one from that altercation. Jin to go down, and again, a big name. Had a pretty rough game so far on the entry / sort of support character. Raindrops to equalize, though, will take down Puppy Rico very quickly. 1.5 minutes remains. It's been a bit of a slaughterfest so far in the early parts of this round, getting 2 kills for each side across the board. Peepo will give her position away with shooting Yana Clone, but Goof's there to collect. 14 for him all up. And it is going to be Nitchy to find Axe Hydra as well very quickly. Pluto again finding himself in a 1vx situation, spraying on the Goof, not going to connect the shots, finally will take him down, but things are not looking great. Final minutes here, Peepo's there, and it is Swinster to find all 5 in a row so far on Villa.
And we're just kind of seeing a pattern here. Goofed always picking up 2-3 kills, Nitchy denying the 5k for Goofed, and Pluto always shutting down Goofed in the end. I reckon they needed to play Pluto earlier just to maybe improve their chances on the attack, just to deny Goof from getting any more kills.
Yeah, it might be the shout. It might be the shout, Commandant, but at the moment, RMIT Black are going to have to do something pretty drastic. Obviously, they're looking down the barrel of a 6-0 half here. If Swinster can get that one on the board, great. It's going to be Dining Kitchen, no Pulse this time, which is an interesting choice. But the Warden instead, which is an operator we've seen an increasing pick rate from, given his utility is starting to become a lot more relevant with the operators being released. Obviously, the operator next season has a pretty decent one, but obviously with Warden being able to see straight through that, there we go. Warden's starting to become more useful. We're seeing people play him a lot more. Obviously, he brings a shield to the party, can have a shotgun. Also with the Bearing 12, is it called the Bearing 12? SMG 12, sorry. And the MPX with the 1.5 alone, that is insane, given how, you know, laser beam the MPX is. So in the hands of someone like Distance, very scary operator. And obviously when he can't be flashed out, the incandelas, flashbangs, the likes, he becomes even scarier. But we look at the lineup from RMIT Black, not a real huge amount of flashbang utility. We do see some smokes from Axe, Hydra, and Pluto, but the way this is shaping up, yeah, this is going to be a send, I think, maybe here, if they can designate that it's worth the cause. They've got one player going in downstairs, 2 players possibly, depending on where Axe wants to go as well. But this could be the send in the kitchen here. We do have one player close by for the immediate contact of Peepo, Distance there to support as well. Everyone else actually off site. So this is shaping up, excuse me, like it's going to be a quick round. But yeah, Lion's going to come out and follow. And it might be the rush here, or at least some type of aggressive play. We have had a disconnect from Commandant, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. We'll work to fix that shortly, but you'll be stuck with me, unfortunately, until that happens. So
this came back.
Here we are. Beluga coming in. It's going to take some damage from up in the window. Jin is going to be there to try and deal some back to the player spawn peeking down, but unfortunately, it's not going to connect, and they are actually getting close to the site. Raindrop for the nade to take down Peepo. It is going to be aggression here towards the kitchen. Distance is going to be the next player they need to clear out, but walking into the site, it is going to be Pluto to lead the charge. He's deep by Tetris. Has Distance heard him, though? He's actually all the way deep. They necessarily know that he's here, but they can't quite clear him out. The position given away, the repel on in. A lot of damage dealt to Beluga, but not enough to find the kill. Gooft is there to take down Pluto. Jim for 1, 2 for Puppy. And very quickly, things turn into a 2 versus 2. Defense have some good players on the board, though. Goofed and Puppy Legacy are there. Axe, Hydra, and Jin, 2 big names for RMIT Black as well. Some good damage to Puppy Rico, but not enough to take him down in the early game. The ace charge to make Goof for the push, but he's going to spot the ace out in the rotate, but he loses the fight. Jin's there. Axe, Hydra as well. And it's going to be around for the attack, the first on this half, and the only that they're going to get before they go over onto the defense side. Is it enough, though, to make it worth?
Beautiful clutch up there by RMIT Black. I thought it was going to go the way of Swinister, honestly, because Goofed was up and Pluto was not there to shut him down. A valiant play by the ace going through the rotate. Not quite able to react quick enough, of course. But I think it's a nice Hail Mary win. RMIT Black, maybe they just didn't really need to have good drone work. Just have to run quick and fast while the defense have roamers spread out. And it did work in their favor in the end. So really good to see. They're picking up 1 kill, 1 win, and this might.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It really has. We've got another disconnect. Oh no, we're back. Okay. Well, from what I was saying, it has been interesting so far. Obviously, Swinster have been struggling a little bit. Sorry, Swinster. RMIT Black have been struggling a little bit, given that 5-1 at the half. They just couldn't get that traction. They didn't have enough information in play, and unfortunately for them, that meant that the conversion rate in terms of rounds was definitely not in their favor. Swinster, again, this being one of their best maps, not really surprising that we're seeing them lead the charge like this at the half. But Goofed sort of teasing that he's bringing the Amaru round 1 at 15-5 with a 3.0 KD. This is going to be a scary moment here for RMIT Black, and whether or not they can deal with this issue, the issue being Goofed, it's going to be a big question, because they're looking to play aggressively, given their lineup. And I'd imagine if they're not too careful, it's going to get pretty spicy here.
Well, I'm just excited that someone's playing Amaru. Goof going in head first. Hopefully someone has drawn him out, but it doesn't matter if he's very confident in his gun skills, as he's going to be pushing through kitchen. Might just walk through the Astro or the lower cam. No, the cam does spot him. Makes first contact. Good pick there. Jen unfortunately crouching, not at the right time as Goof catches his head. And that's an early pick for Goofed. He could come up the Astro hatch even for some insane plays to catch anyone off guard. But no, he's going to take the muggle way, as they say. And now he's just going to come up with his team. And this is a good early take there. Good early pick onto the dock. Oh, I mean onto the Lucy, sorry. And there's still one minute only down, 2 minutes. Plenty of time to go. Just need to slowly drone it out. take the critical windows such as the 90 repel, and I think they've got a good action going.
I'm interested as to why we haven't seen Swinister take that 90 window control, but they don't necessarily need it. Obviously, with Goof finding the opening pick, they have a lot of leeway now, and they have actually taken 90 without any great sort of dedication of bodies towards that position. And the next question is can they get this 90 wall open? Obviously, they do have it open for the possibility of impact tricking, and Nichi's actually going to try and get the player through this drone hole here, but it's a pretty one-way angle, so he's not actually going to be able to spot out the Cade deep inside of Volt. Next Hydra is going to come out on top of that altercation, but Goofed sneaking around by landing, looking for the peek-on into the site, will spot one possibly, the flashbang to come out, will be grabbed up by the reminders, and it's going to allow him to walk straight on in, all the way deep in maps. Could be greeted with his first kill. Indeed, he will. Axe Hydra to go down, looking for more. He's going to take a lot of damage from the toxic canister through the wall as well. It's going to force him back into study. And things for the execute not looking great. Nichi to find Beluga as well. Pluto for one, but Nichi's for a second on the raindrops. And now, very quickly, Pluto, the only player left, not for the long. Distance is there, and Swinister are looking to make this a quick one. Going to put themselves on match point.
Yeah, very, very confident attack there. I don't know how much. I think Goof once again just very, very, very confident, I would say. He just comes onto the site, doesn't care, gets one pick, and somehow survives, but he does get picked. Oh, I don't believe he gets picked off, but regardless, another win picked up by Swinister. They're just looking very confident, especially on the attack once again. Maybe RMIT Black fell off on the trophy statue hold a bit too soon, so that Swinister had 2 minutes left to reposition all their members. One on the rappel, of course, one onto the study balcony for the eventual finisher.
It was really well coordinated by Swinister. I mean, getting Goofed in early to take some of those players down. I mean, he found, I think, only 2 in that round, but in saying that, you know, he's had 2, 3, 4 kills a round for pretty much every round of play we've seen tonight. He did die that last round, just for confirmation. But still, he has had an absolute heater so far in this game against RMIT Black. He's pretty much single-handedly been the reason that they cannot seem to catch a single break so far. They got that one round at the end of their defense side, but attack side rather. But going into the defense, that round from them did not look strong enough in terms of how they had it set up. There was not a great deal of refrag ability for each individual roamer. Obviously, we saw Jin picked off at the start with no real repercussions for Swinister. And then, very similarly, we saw Goof just walk into the site. There was no sort of crossfire set up. There was no refrag for the Cade. And it was all just sort of very disjointed for RMIT Black. So 5 rounds is all that separates them from OT. But that is going to be a pretty big feat for them to pull off, given that it is 5 unanswered rounds. They have no chance to make a single mistake.
Definitely has to be perfect play coming out from, and good pick. That's what we want to see. Pluto picks up an early pick onto distance there. It's going to be very important. But Goof, of course, is still up, trying to get a cheeky pick through the walls. He's not going to be able to find it. Drone comes through just to check out the landscape. Interesting that they're actually getting Goof to drone for them instead of Goof entering. I guess Goof is a better refragger, is a good refragger as well. Gonna push in, air jabbing the Astro stairs, of course, and then gonna make their way, having taken once again this half of the map very, very quickly. As I said, 2 minutes left, and 1 minute they've used a lot, used their time very efficiently. Jin playing below, people are gonna get tagged in half. There is.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough, Commandant. Obviously, they're setting up. Oh, okay. Sorry, you keep disconnecting. I keep thinking, oh, I'll take over, and then he's back.
I don't know. This sometimes it's because everyone's studying on campus. I'm living on campus, so hogging the Wi-Fi because exams are coming up for everyone. So it's a bit unfortunate.
Anyway, 1 minute left. RMIT Black, they have 5 left on the board, but only 3 now for Swinister as Jin finds one onto Puppy Rico. Goofed is still alive, though. I know we highlight it like it is something huge for them, but through the drone hole, raindrops to take down Peepo, Goofed, and Nichi, the last 2 remaining. For the attacking side, Beluga somehow gets across there without losing his head to Goofed. And it is now going to be sort of how many can we really get? We got 40 seconds to play with. It's a lot of time. Goof will find one, almost two there. Good damage dealt to Pluto, but not enough for a kill. Nietzsche doing worse towards the red says side. Will take a lot of damage from Jin. Not going to find that kill either, and actually no damage so far at all. Goofed a lot of damage dealt, will finally get the kill, almost takes his teammate down, and that's going to cost him looking the wrong way. Raindrops is going to be the one that perishes, but Pluto is actually the one to find both of the remaining players, and RMIT Black, they're going to put one on the board. It's a start, but it's definitely not the end.
Yeah, it's what RMIT Black definitely needed. I think that looked a lot more solid. I think they were playing off each other much better than before. With people positioned for the refrag, but of course, good early picks there as well. And I think Pluto, it was a 3k, I believe, that round, early pick, and the last two at the end there. So well done to him, of course. Swinister, maybe it could be a turning of tides, but as you said, RMIT Black, they have to play perfectly, and I don't know if they would be able to.
It's been a bit of a hard one to keep up with to some degree, because it has just been so quick from the side of Swinster. They have been very decisive. They know pretty much exactly what they want to be doing pretty much all of these rounds, and have been doing it without any real hindrance. I mean, they've been in and out. It's been pretty clean. And yeah, they have had a pretty good run so far for map 1. Given that, again, this is one of their best maps, they really enjoy it, and, you know, they play it really well. Not a real surprise so far that they've been doing really well. But again, I mean, we've seen a couple of rounds here put on the board now for RMIT Black. We could see them. It's not a very high chance, but we could definitely see them put it into OT. There's always the possibility. But given that they have 4 rounds to play with, Swinster will probably end up making the changes they need to sort of combat this defense. We do see Goof jumping onto the knock. He's 1 kill away from the 20 bomb. Will the knock be the operator that helps him get it?
I feel like both teams like to run the knock, just a bit of a gimmick to push through basement every time. And once we see Goof doing the exact same play here, Astro Hatch is actually open. Maybe he could get a cheeky pick, but he is gonna be finding one person, and he does make the 20 bomb. Pretty easy by Goofed, and then make that 21. 2 free picks there. The 2 roamers not quite together. Not sure why he was sprinting there, but good play there with the drone work to back him up as well. And that's 2 kills already gone, and that's not the perfect play we want to see from the defense, as Kaid gets tagged slightly, and Beluga? I've been saying Beluga the whole time, even though it's B, but I think I'll stick with Beluga. It sounds a bit better. But Beluga does shut down Goofed, and that's what they need. 3v4, half the time remaining.
There's still a good amount of time here for both of these teams to play with. Obviously, with Goof finding 2 on the entry, that's going to be a big start for his team, but he goes down. So a good bit of fragging prowess taken away from the roster of Swinster is not the best way to start things off for them, but having had those 2 picks, it's definitely going to be better than not. But distance taking Beluga down now is going to make things a whole lot harder, now leaving it all up to Pluto and Axe Hydra on the site by themselves with 4 players starting to make their way towards Stat Troph. Distance will take a bit of damage. The nade prep to come out here as well. Nietzsche's going to cover that rotate. Axe Hydra will find one though, but swinging on round. The air jab's going to connect onto Pluto, putting him in a bit of a rough position here. It's going to force the swing as well, possibly, but Axe Hydra will spot the head of Distance. And now, being a 2v2, Nietzsche to win the fight. Pluto goes down on the cross. Peepo will spot Axe Hydra. A lot of damage dealt. 1 HP left for the K. Nietzsche's there for the cross. Swinster, they're going to take map 1 in pretty good time, 7-2. It's good halves in the chat. We're going to be going on to map number 2, but Villa, very well done. Goof with 21. I mean, what a map for him. I mean, the closest player next to him was Nietzsche with 6, so That is a pretty big sort of kill difference. I mean, what, an extra 14 to even come close to where Goof was at the end there. So really well done from him in that opening match. Now the question will be is, can he continue it on into Chalet? Commandant, what were your thoughts on map number 1?
Well, very, very convincing by Swinister. As you can see, he's going 7-2 there. Last bomb, as you said. Maybe a bit too strong. I reckon I would like to see.
You love to see it. You love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back after this. Oh, he's back. Commandant, I'm sorry to cut you off. We're going to fix this up. We're going to fix this up. And we will be right back after this very short break for map number 2. Don't go anywhere. Chalet coming to your screens after this. We'll be right back.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't
Hi, I'm Kunzi and I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and today we're checking out the Nitro 5 by ASA. This is honestly one of the smoothest gameplay experiences that I've had, especially on a laptop. The graphics are amazing, it's not laggy, it's very lightweight. The keyboard feels really nice to play with, and I love the RGB lights. Look how pretty they are. We love a rainbow. Yes! 4-star! 4-star character! If you're looking for a gaming laptop on the go, be sure to check out ACE's range.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the short break. We've rectified some issues and hopefully we are good to go. But just before we would like to thank our sponsors, RIG, AOC, and last but not least, Predator Gaming. Obviously, all very nice partners and we love them dearly. But enough of that. We're jumping into map number 2, Chalet. But before we do, very quickly, Commandant, what do you think is going to go down for map 2?
Well, map 2, of course, is RMIT Black's map pick. And interesting that they're gonna start on given that up to them. But like Villa, they look very confident on the attack in that part. So we're just gonna have to see how this turns out. But I expect RMIT Black to be much more stronger on this map, considering it is their pick. And historically, Villa has been very strong for Swinister as well. Congratulations to Gooft, of course, for going over the 20 bomb barrier. Let's just gonna see how he's gonna perform this time. Thatcher band coming out, very classic. I'm expecting maybe a Finker band coming out, but it could be something else. And no, a Jackal band. So the Finker is gonna be on the board. So that's gonna be quite annoying for the defense, of course. Finker just being quite oppressive recently, I would say. Strong gun, strong utility, very strong, able to res players and mitigate damage for the entire team.
Yep, and pairing that with the Valkyrie band, obviously really good for Swinster as well, but they're just sort of keeping their bands in their pockets where they want them, and pretty standard. I'd imagine probably Mirror to go here over something like a Cade, but again, being Chalet. Oh, okay. Oh. Interestingly enough, it's actually going to be Alibi, so a little bit of a goof target ban there to try and slow him down a little bit on the defense side. But it is going to be Swinster to start on the attack first. So whether or not that is going to come to fruition for them in terms of trying to slow Goof down, we will obviously see, given that they have to play 6 rounds first. But there is obviously still plenty of time for Goof to attempt to get 20 before the split. They do have the attack first, so whether or not he can find 20 on the Finker is a different question. But given that it is Chalet and given that Swinster are starting off on the attack, things not looking too good for RMIT right off the back. Obviously, this being their map pick, Swinster get to choose what side they want to start on. And given that Chalet is an attacker-sided map, very hard to defend very well. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough start here for RMIT Black. But in saying that, Swinster, you never know. It could go all wrong. Maybe Goof has put his mouse down. He's picked up the controller for a map. We don't know. Something could have gone wrong in the Goof Tower, or just the fragging department for everyone on Swinster. So you never know. But yeah, RMIT's pick. We'll see if it comes to anything for them. But given that they're already 1 map down, things are looking really good for Swinster, especially starting the attack for Chalet.
Well, maybe Goof's gonna activate the Finker, and he's not gonna be used to the recoil. It's gonna be too easy for him.
They got rid of that.
Oh,
they got rid of that. So yeah, the Finker doesn't actually change recoil anymore.
Well, that's very good for Goof then, I suppose. He's gonna go in. I wonder how they're gonna push this side. Of course, Goof gonna be entering into library. No defenders actually to hold this part of the site. Usually you expect at least some sort of resistance, maybe a couple warning shots or anything at all. But no, all the Romans are in fact playing downstairs, so they have 3 nitros, I believe, on the board for them as well. So if they're able to have the good intel, that's potentially 3 easy picks coming right off the bat. The ping going down as they're going to get ready to open the wall. Gun 6 going to get rid of some utility, and that wall should be getting open anytime soon now. Just going to check the below for any roamers here. But so far, just playing pretty safe and methodically, I would say.
Methodically is the aim of the game here. It's they do have to sort of clear a lot before they get on in. Axe Hydra has actually fallen to distance in the early sort of moments of this round. Niche is going to take a lot of damage from inside of the office here. They do still have one player close by, Beluga, but he is going to be forced away given that the wall is now opened up. So it's going to give Swinister an avenue to make their way into the top 4, or at least attempt to, given that there is still a player inside of the piano area, Raindrops being. But Goofed is downstairs looking for any roamers that he can find on the bottom floor. Now, no one is here for RMIT Black, which means that he is going to be largely ungifted with these frags, but it's actually going to be Westmate where he's going to choose to pop back up. Will be spotted on the camera. His position now given away, and from the vertical hold, he is going to be spotted. No damage dealt, but a lot of taken. And Goofed is going to walk away with his life.
Yeah, very good push coming here. Doesn't quite find the piano pick. Nichi a bit aggressive there. Good play off by the Jin and the guy playing in piano. Raindrops taken down very low, but of course still survives, so still continue to apply pressure. And unfortunately, Goof just better taking out Raindrops. He might be able to find a second. Oh, a nice 360 coming out with a nade going through. Isn't going to find it, unfortunately, but good for style points. Going for another, but gets downed in the process, nading himself. I think that's what you get for trying to get clips on this match. With only 25 seconds left to go, they have to make something work. It's a 3v3 situation. Diffuser plants are going to be going in, taken down very low. It's going to be able to quite get the plant off, but Pico gets the pick onto Jin, and the diffuser is going down now with 10 seconds left to go. Pluto coming out from the backside, taking one out, up fireplace. Distance taken down as Pluto denies the plant. The plant does go off, and now it's just ticking in a 1v1.
Pluto, he's done it before in the OCL OCN. Can he do it here against distance? Obviously, the Yana has the piano control. The bomb now being defused. He has a nade to play with. It is the bait to try and force the peak, but he isn't actually going to realize that Pluto has pushed up close to this door. He will get the audio cue. The sound being given. The pre-fire gives his position away, but it's him to win out with the ARX over the SMG. Pluto to fall. And a great attempt there on the retake, but unfortunately for the defense, not good enough. Couldn't get those last couple of kills, and ultimately Swinister, they're going to keep their sort of momentum going here into Chalet. A little bit of a break hasn't done too much for RMIT Black, but that was really, really close, and ultimately a lot closer than Swinister probably would have hoped for. They got it down to a 3v2, but then lost a lot of picks really quickly there in that post-plan situation. Almost denying the plant. Pluto almost had a big brain play coming up the main stairs, but fortunately not quick enough, and distance was there to close things out. But overall, a really solid start to Chalet for both teams. And provided that that is the level that we've seen at the moment, I'd imagine this one is probably going to be a little bit closer than our first matchup. But you never know. At the end of the day, it could be completely one-sided, or it could be an 8-7 game. We don't know at this point. It is only 2 rounds in. So RMIT Black to trail, Swinister to lead, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, still early days. I think RMIT Black definitely felt more confident on this map, especially on defense. I like that piano play. They were sort of playing off each other. Goofed, of course, trying to be a bit silly with the nade. Got punished for that. And I think they did have a bit better map knowledge there. There was a nice vertical play onto the west stairs, taking Goofed by surprise, not quite finishing him off. But yeah, those tiny, small knowledge and cheeky plays on the map can often make a big difference throughout the outcome of the round. And yeah, Pluto, very good flank. Maybe needed to come up a bit earlier because it was sort of post-plan before he actually managed to be able to come into play there. So that might have been a bit late considering all his teammates had already fallen. But it's just little things, and I think they can iron it out. This will be a really good defense for RMIT Black.
Goof trying to see if he can get rid of that mute jammer. Indeed, he will. Now, whether or not he's able to get a kill through the door here is going to be a big deciding factor. For the early information that, well, not even that, the early damage and kills that they can find. Speaking of damage, he will do a lot to Beluga. Not enough to find a frag, unfortunately, with distance on the crossfire as well. They've been unable to take this player down. He's going to be stuck pretty well, though, inside of the office close by here. From below, there are some shots coming forward, but it is going to be the Zofia charge to actually down him in the end. So distance probably going to be able to come confirm here if they can sort of designate that he is actually down. And there we go, from below, Puppy Rico to finish that one off. And a great start here for Swinister. The wall ready to be opened. Things looking good.
I think Pluto might be trying to make a play here. Gonna be pushed, and Goof is down in the...
Not enough, though, to finish him off. He's going to be able to get the self-heal out. So, unfortunately, for RMIT Black, it's not enough to confirm the kill on the Goof. He does still have, I believe, one of those adrenal surges left to get him back up to some semblance of health. But other than that, distance, trying to deal with a player downstairs. They do have the Nitro in the hands of Pluto for the denial, obviously with the shotgun as well. In saying that, though, RMIT Black down a player. They have the positional advantage here going into the final minute.
Yeah, oh, and Goof does finally get taken down by Jin. Beautiful play there, contesting the balcony door from the long angles, of course. And Pluto still being a bit of a menace down there. Flash is coming out to try and flash out Piano, and it's long push back. Good play there by the Kai, taking him out, even though he is getting pushed from all the flash nades. Actually not being able to get him blinded. But distance finally shuts down Pluto down below, so they can actually get the default plan happening as the Nitro threat has been removed. Of course, you can always rotate with the Cap Kai Nitro still in play. So Pipo is going to crawl onto site now, getting ready to get the plan down, but nice damage onto him, not quite finishing him off. Only Jin left. He does have one Nitro in play, so he could potentially get it, but he is forced out, and Distance picks up the final kill.
Distance picks up the final 3 kills, actually, jumping in and finishing things off there for the attacking side. Having a great game on the Ana so far on Chalet. Clearing out downstairs single-handedly, and I believe actually maybe coming up Astro at the end. I'm not too sure the direct route of entry there for Distance, but didn't really seem to matter too much. He picked up 3 in the round, and ultimately a really good round at that. Swinster further cementing their lead on this second map here, but it's a repeat sort of issue here for RMIT Black. It's not enough information, or the refrags are not there. We saw a really good sort of back and forth that round between the two teams, but ultimately there was just not enough information for them. I mean, having that player come up Astro, whether or not the camera was shot out or, you know, no one was sitting on the camera, something happened there to allow Distance to sort of just walk on in and kill everybody. So, yeah, I mean, he's 7-1 right now. Or maybe even 7-0, but it's, I mean, yeah, look, Distance is having a heater. It's not the Goof show this map, it's the Distance show, and whether or not he keeps that up.
Goof has probably used up all his energy or mana for last round, so he's going to be handing the baton over to Distance to chase that 20k. He's doing really well, only 2 rounds, and he's picked up 7 already, so very strong, like, well, doing all the group work, I should say, by Distance, but of course he can't pick up all those kills without his teammates to support him. RMIT Black gonna opt for a side change finally, not willing to lose another round on the same site, and there is going to be some roam play coming out. Beluga just holding the fort down on the opposite side. Nichi already in, down below in Trophy, or actually just pushing towards the kitchen site. Goof going to be contesting anyone in library. Oh, that's very quick. Probably nice drone work going out, catching Beluga by surprise across the long angle. Got to be able to not quite find that head peek from library, but Goof once again sharp wits with him.
Yeah, when paired with some good live droning as well, Goofed is a very deadly player, and I mean we've seen that across multiple games. And everything else in saying that across multiple seasons even, so not surprising. But Beluga to go down hasn't had too much of an impact, unfortunately, in the past couple of maps, so given that he has a Nitro as well, not the best pick to lose early on. Ultimately not crippling for RMIT Black.
But
They do still
once
have some
again, as I said, just methodical pushing. They've taken piano, they've taken bedroom, and they're now going to buy for the upstairs take over this bar site. Finker goes out, healing the majority of their teammates. All the explosion utility going out, trying to flush out the Frost, but the Frost is going to stay there. Wamai still holding Library, of course. Good pick, Jin taking out Goof, shutting him down, but the nade comes out, able to duck away just in time. The red warning, very blowing him out, as the Fear is also trying to vie for this Library push. But that's very good slowing down of the attack there. Just everyone getting slight trades through and through. But so far, RMIT Black are holding firm on the Library.
It's Swinister to come out on top at the end of the altercation. Good damage dealt Jin and Pluto, 50 HP respectively. But it's actually Nietzsche walking down the kitchen hallway. He was actually going to be granted with a pretty free kill on Jin. Caught rotating towards the shoe locker. Unfortunately for him, that's going to cost him his life. A lot of damage dealt there by raindrops, though. At least is some good compensation for that frag. Not one back, though, so not the greatest trade there. Going to have to be the execute, though. 20 seconds left for Swinister to play with. They still have 3 on site to deal with. The Nitros being drawn out. Pluto to find Nietzsche. Everything about to kick off. Peepo's there. Distance with 1 on Axe as well. Raindrop's the only player left that has any ability to make something happen in this round. It does have to be the bomb plant. Peepo needs to get it down, but Distance inside of stock to close things out. 9 kills, I believe, he's sitting on after 3 rounds. He's doing better than Goofed on Villa. After 3, Goof was sitting on 8. So Distance with the new crown, he could be on for 22 as opposed to 21. But even still, Swinister 3-0 lead. Great way to start Chalet off on a very strong appearing attacking half.
Yep, very strong play. Distance picking it up. I reckon he's got a good chance at the 20 bomb for this map. RMIT Black, I think they were doing really well until Jin made that risky rotate and he did get picked off by Nietzsche. And Swinister are just very good, even though they were sort of strained with time, 40 seconds left or so, but they were able to push onto site and sort of collapse in all directions. Very well coordinated attack as usual. RMIT Black, I'm not really sure what they can improve on. Maybe trying to hold top floor a bit longer, but they did the best they can, because taking it down to 40 seconds to push on the site is very good. Maybe just not quite winning the gunfights, of course, because Nietzsche got away scot-free on very low health, but it didn't matter because that's still another gun up for the enemy team. Swinister just looking very, very strong. 3-0 on the attack.
I think it's been a bit more of a positional thing for RMIT Black. I mean, Swinister going into end rounds, I mean, they've had, you know, disadvantage on disadvantage, and the positioning of RMIT Black in these sort of dying moments is just, it's not set up well enough for them to hold on. I mean, yeah, we've seen players caught out on rotates. Jin just really caught with his pants down rotating towards shoes, and it hasn't really been going well for them, but Beluga is actually there to find the first. Nietzsche somewhere taken down by the Wamai, I believe out the main door actually. Sort of weird that we are seeing him run the MP5 without the 1.5x, but you know, each to their own. Maybe that's his preference, albeit. Good pick to find early. The Nomad going down.
Yeah, a bit cheeky there, not expecting that. So that's a nice pick off early on, even though he is taken down to half health, but it doesn't matter. Pink going to be coming out for Mozzie, who might be pushed, and I don't believe there's actually any teammates to support him. The roamers are a bit far scattered. Frost is nearby on his flank, of course. But they need to play this quite carefully, and as you said, positioning is very important. I think they're giving up the positions too easily, but doesn't matter. Pappy gets down in the process. Goof may be able to pick him up, but they have dropped off very early on the vertical hold. Coming out of Solarium even, I think they've given it up too easily. But once again, Nitros are in play. Axe Hydra and Raindrops, each with their own, so they can get some picks off. But Goofed is going to push very confidently through, and Solarium is taken, or Solarium is still contested, but of course Bedroom and majority of the top floor is taken.
Yeah, and Goofed is going to be sort of granted a little bit of a free kill there. He takes down Pluto on the solar stairs, but Nitro not going to connect. Goof will spot the head of that player. A lovely flick to the right, though. Beluga goes down. Not a great start there for RMIT Black in this latter part, but Swinister still standing strong with 4. They do still have one inside of trophy they have to deal with. Goof will spot the head of Raindrops, takes him down as well, and now the only player left in the way of Goof is going to be Axe Hydra. Make it no more. Goof for another one. Jin, the only player left on the defense side. Goof deep inside of the site. He's going to take down Peepo. The diffuser now dropped 40 seconds left. But is it enough? No. Well, actually, it is going to be for now. Jin is going to take Goof down. This could be the 1v4, but no distance is there to shut things out. And Goof, a huge round from him on the finger, but distance again closing things out for his team.
I think that was good attempt there with the crossfire. I liked what they were trying to do, but they're not quite winning the gunfights. Like Goof was open.
I don't even think that's the issue. I think Goof is just insane.
Yeah, I think Goof is just too confident, and the other players are probably just too scared of him. It's got some really big demoralizing effects. Because Goof, I think he was out in the open for about at least 1 to 2 seconds, but he managed to flick to his right to pick off one and a second player before that trophy player could actually be of any use.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
I don't know what to say. I think maybe it was half the time they're losing because they're not quite winning the gunfights, and Goof is just too cracked, as to put it lightly.
That's 100% the issue. Goof is just being allowed to get away with absolute, insanity. The fact that he found 2 there is just crazy. It shouldn't have happened. To put it plainly, it should not have happened. RMIT Black should have at least found a trade there after that first kill. There was 3 players looking at him, and not a single one could do anything about his existence, which, yeah, not great for the defense at all. Swinister again taking 4 early rounds, and it's shaping up to be a very similar start to what we saw on Villa.
It's definitely not good. I think once again, I think positioning is the big one here. They sort of gave up top floor control very easily. Solarium was given up, not much of a fight, and for some reason the Mozzie was still trying to play some cheeky games there on the Solarium stairs, but easily picked off with the good Iana drone work with Goof with the gun skills to back him up. But Raindrops shuts down Goof, especially on the Finker. That's a lot of utility and firepower shut down in 1 kill, and this is, I think, what they need to turn the tide on this defense.
Could definitely be taking Goof down early. A big pivoting thing here with Pluto finding distance as well. So the 2 big fraggers gone, and that's actually Distance's first death in this matchup. 10 and 1. The refrag is there, but in saying that, the refrag is straight back as well. Nitchy to find another trade, and things not necessarily in the bin for Swinster just yet, but it's going to be very difficult executing with only 2 players on the board. Nitchy being tagged up as well as Peepo, 100 health between them. It's going to be a tall order, especially with Jin, Axe, and Beluga on the board. They've all fallen back, bar 1 on the top floor, and they're going to look to hold on for as long as they can. But they still have a decent amount of time to play with here.
I'm a bit concerned Axe Hydra is sort of stuck down the roam. It's potentially going to be flashed out as Peepo and Nomad going to be playing together, but he doesn't have quite his teammate to back him up just yet. Slowly comes through. Good pick by Axe Hydra onto Nitchy as a 1v2. Trades coming out, but Peepo is able to survive, getting the confirm. Unfortunately, 1 defender still in bathroom. Smoke's coming out to push him away. He's on a slither of health, so can't possibly inhale any of that toxic smoke. And he is going to pick up the fuse and walk back down. Probably try and contest the site. Try to make it a 1v1, 2 separate 1v1s. But 1 minute still to go. Gun pre-firing coming out does alert them. And he is going to probably play this quite safely. Some distractions. And we just have to see how this execute is going to play out.
Peepo, one of the better players to grace the Women's League, and making the stylish rotate here downstairs. She's looking to maybe pick up 1 to pad the stats, but given that those toxic canisters will kill her, she's not going to walk through that one, signaling to both her team and us, the observers, that she's not too interested in making her way through that toxic canister. And yeah, she's just playing to pad the stats here, possibly. He's going to give it a go, mate, and at least look to maybe find one. Will be spotted on the information is obviously now there. she's not too interested at all. Hits the bag. Some good luck, and RMIT Black, they're going to find their first round for Chalet on time. But ultimately, let's be honest, the starting kills there are a really good way for them to kick things off, to at least start to put some rounds on the board.
I don't know. RMIT Black, I don't think positioning is a pretty big issue, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to fix this. Coming in final round on the defense, they're going to need to make something work. Interesting that they haven't actually opted for the basement hold, which I guess has become more and more difficult.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Maybe they're not willing a fuse charge or sledging over the vertical, but I would have liked to see an attempt at least on the basement side. Maybe it would have worked out in their favor. And once again, Goof is sticking onto the thinker and distance. First death, but 10-1. He looks very, very strong. RMIT Black, they're not holding on very well. 1-4, and they're just gonna have to win these next few rounds without giving up too much.
It's yeah, look, if RMIT Black can keep that up, they're going to be in with a chance. This is an attacker-sided map. They have started defense, so the short end of the stick, but they're going to have the better of the two situations when they go over onto the attack, obviously. So if they can make something happen now to get it to 4-2 and then sort of play their attack really, really well, then things will be looking up for them on the come up. But until we see a big change in round count here, things for Swinister will always be looking good, given that they pretty much dominated these last two games, as well as now Distance finding the opening kill onto Jin. With Nietzsche taking down Axe Hydra as well, Beluga will trade on to Goof though, so a 1-for-2 trade. The Distance to take down Pluto just sort of furthers the lead here for Swinister, and not looking great.
Yeah, Pappy's missing out on the action as he finally gets the rappel, looking on into sight. Already 3 enemy players down for him. That's going to make his job much easier. People are going to take him down with range ops as well. And just getting pushed from that window as well. Plant going down by Peepo. Beluga left in the 1v4 situation with so much time remaining. Didn't expect all his teammates to fall so quickly. And he is going to get pushed and swung by Nietzsche, picking up the final kill.
Really well done there. Really well done from the attack. They learned their lesson from the last round, and they fixed it. They made the changes they need to make, and they're going to walk away with a 5th. Now, again, we saw this on Villa, the exact same scoreline. Given history repeats itself, we see Swinister take another one, RMIT Black get their second, and then Swinister finish. So, if that's the case, I'll be damned. But until then, it's anyone's game until the final round is played. So, in saying that though, Swinister with 5 on their attacking half going into the defense are looking really good. At least on as good as you can get on a Chalet defense to make something happen. They're actually starting downstairs of all sides.
Oh, that's a nice change of pace, I reckon. And I think the Oryx is nice. I think it fits Goof's personality a lot. Lots of hatches, of course, to access around site and rotate. And now it's gonna be Jin's turn on the thinker. RMIT Black might be able to make something happen with that. Couple of changes on the attack lineup. Sledge switching to the Thermite. The Nook going to be coming out. Very interesting. I would have expected maybe Sledge to be kept, because there's always some vertical options on this map, of course, but Thermite's the big one. Maybe opt for additional hard breaches, because you don't want to get a cheeky spawn peek coming out and you lose Beluga early.
No, losing Beluga would be a pretty big thing here, especially for downstairs, but there's a lot of denial on the hands of Swinister. They obviously having the Mute and the Cade available. Thatcher being taken out is going to make things a little bit harder here. Obviously, Axe Hydra bringing the Twitch is going to be some form of rectification, or at least how RMIT Black are going to be trying to deal with that. But close on the drone hole for some reason. Nietzsche, he's lost in the source, I think, as some of us would say. And he's going to go down early to Beluga. but the wall to be opened up. It might even be a bit of a rush play here from the attacking side. No, they backed off, and the wall will be opened all the way up. So it is going to be post-plant play for RMIT Black.
I didn't realize that the thermite charge was contained like that. I was kind of expecting Beluga to get taken down. But that's really good play. Nietzsche probably being a bit cocky there, trying to contest the drone peak, and of course gets taken down for it. I think much better teamwork going on here with that wall take, which was very nicely and easily accomplished with so much time remaining. Distance picks up the revenge kill onto Beluga. The diffuser is dropped, putting up his kills to 13 now, and he is getting slowly there, close at a time. Going to be contesting this very long angle there just to keep him at bay there. Axe Hydra picks up the diffuser, but there's no way for him to actually push in. He's going to have to wait for his teammates to come through from the other angles. Booth is of course still up, playing in kitchen, and not doing too much right now with 1 minute to go.
Yeah, not long left in play, only a minute, and RMIT Black need to sort of make a push onto the site. They have some good utility. Jin to take down Poppy Rico with a frag as well. Make things difficult with Raindrops finding one, but Goof and Distance both to find one for themselves. Make it another with Goof takes down Jin. Distance for Axe Hydra as well. 2 kills between them with a very quick 4K between 2 people. Swinister find another one and put themselves on match and series point here. They are a possible 1 round away from cementing their spot in the grand final. And what a quick evening it would be if there was 2 7-1, 7-2s back to back.
Bit of wishful thinking, but it is looking that way indeed. Very strong play by Distance, like as the Warden pick is very good because the 2 players on Garage, they couldn't really smoke through if they had that utility. Since Warden can easily counter that, and they were really just relying on their teammates to try and flank around from the opposite side, but just getting shut down. Once again, Goofed and Distance, Clutch, just pulling it through for their team, picking up all the big kills, all the important kills, I would say. Distance now on 15, so he's only 5 kills away. Maybe they might drop a few rounds just to help Distance get closer to that 20k. Always a possibility, of course, but RMIT Black on the last ropes, on the attack. They need to make something work, and fast.
Yeah, it's again RMIT have got them in a pretty big sort of backlog here in terms of the round count. 5 is what they need just to get to OT, not even to have a chance anymore. It's 5 for OT, and given the track record in these last 2 games, yeah, look, RMIT Black are not looking great here at all. Raindrops takes a lot of damage in the opening seconds of this round. Does draw the Adrenal Surge early, which means he's going to have to use a lot of those to get himself back up to full HP. Axe will find Goof though, so some compensation.
Yep, good early peg onto Goof. That's what you want to see. I think getting the pigs on the top fraggers is always something of a morale boost, but Distance, of course, is still up on the board. Drone work is coming out, and they will be looking to take Library and push from the opposite side of the map. A lot of pre-firing going on. But yeah, not too bad. I like that they are taking this somewhat slowly. They don't really want to rush this, of course. Even though they have a 1-man advantage, it's really nothing. It can change very drastically in a few seconds, as they're going to be preparing to remove the Kai charges and get the wall open. Literally playing on piano with the Kai to support him. Similar setup as always from...
It's been a pretty consistent setup between both teams throughout these matches. They've had a pretty consistent setup in terms of operator lineup for specific sites, as well as how they've been setting things up. Now, Nietzsche, close on that door with the SMG in hand, could have gone for the shotgun swing, but opted against it for whatever reason, in saying that he does have a pretty good position here to deny the breach. Walking, Puppy Rico will find Jin. So one of the big fraggers off the board for RMIT Black. Smoke's starting to come out a little bit earlier than usual with only a minute left in play. Things are getting spicy.
Yep, they have to take their time, but they might be taking too much time. 1 minute left, and they haven't quite taken everything. The wall is open, which is very good, but they need that piano control just to prevent the crossfire from happening. Pluto is going to be attempting to contest that, but the smoke is just going to deny any substantial push. Litchi playing very safely with distance and people to cover with like a double crossfire. There's very strong positional play there. Nade's going to be coming through, not quite finding anyone. Litchi gets sort of flashed out and fragged out of the piano shield, but he's going to be playing tight onto the doorway there. Part needs to go down very soon, 20 seconds. Pepe gets downed, and another one, Axe Hydra taking out Litchi. Very, very solid coming out. Ranger's another pick. Good first attack win for RMIT Black. This is what they needed. And they still have a long road to go, but props to them for picking up one more round.
It's a small consolidation prize at the end of the day. 1 round on the board for them is good, but obviously 4 more is what's required, and whether or not they're going to pull that off. Looking at how Swinister have been playing tonight, probably not. But they found a arguably very pivotal round for them. They needed that one to come to fruition. It did, and now they're looking in a really good position to at least have some momentum going forward. But again, 4 rounds is a pretty tall ask for even the most seasoned teams. So going forward here is going to be a very big ask for them, given that Swinister have been doing so well this evening. I mean, distance, 15 kills. Goofed only on 8 this game, but still a pretty big number when you consider the fact. And they're not going to go upstairs in the office again. They're going to go straight onto a different bomb site, that being the bar and games room. So a bit of an easier site. One a more what should we say? More of a initial sort of opening bomb site pick that we've seen from teams in the sort of growing competitive scene that is how Chalet is played. No real surprise that we've seen a site switch though.
Yep, and of course the attacker operator changes to respond to that. Sledge coming out from Beluga. Hibana probably better suited for the hatch. And Axe Hydra switching to the Flores. And Finka once again kept on the board as usual. She's just very, very strong. Probably the pick rate is too high. I would have to agree with that. Yep, and potentially Swinister have a few rounds to give if they want distance. Potentially, they might be planning for distance to also attain a 20k. But that is a bit of a BM play, I would say. Swinister should finish it early, but good, nice pick onto Litchi, taken out from the library hallway, from the rooftop. That's what we want to see early on.
Yeah, especially if you're an RMIT Black fan, it's going to be a great way to kick things off. And Swinister now sort of trail in terms of the man count, but it's not the end of the world. They have the Flores coming in from Axe Hydra to clear the shields out. They're going to be getting these positions opened up. But Pluto is there to find another as well from the window. However, Goofed is there to take down Jin, and things looking good here for the defense, provided they can find a couple of kills like that. Peepo to take down Raindrops, the Thinker to go. Gets one Adrenal Surge off before being traded for distance there to take Beluga down as well. Very quickly, things swing back in favour of Swinister. RMIT with only 2 left, but now as well, Swinister 2 on the board. Pluto to take down Goofed, and very quickly, a flurry of kills leave us in a 2v2.
Yep, they're looking very strong, but at least they've got library control, sort of. Cheeky frag grenade might catch someone, but there's no drone work. Just going to be nading the default positions. Does slightly tag Peepo a little bit, but not quite taking him down that low at all. Distance gets shut down by Pluto. Nice angles coming down, and it's a 2v1 situation. Peepo stuck on the bomb site. 1 minute left to go. Plenty of time to drone out, of course, with the Iana clone. Once they're just going to contest for it. I'm not sure that was the right play because there was no refrag opportunity, but doesn't matter. Axe Hydra coming in to finish off Peepo.
Really well done there from Axe Hydra, keeping his team in it for 1 round longer. And look, it's It's shaping up to be a longer game here between these two teams. Seems like RMIT Black have found a little bit of momentum, and they're sort of definitely just running with it. But yeah, really well done from them to keep that going. Swinster got it down to the 1v1, but unfortunately a little bit of a misplay there from the Jaeger in terms of where he wanted to be sitting. Sort of anticipated the player to be in front of him, not to his right inside of main lobby, which is fair enough. You would expect players to be playing together in that situation, given that it was like, what, sort of 20 seconds left in the round. So I understand the thought process there, but unfortunately not the right one in that instance. It's going to cost them. But they, again, still have 3 rounds to sort of play with before it becomes a big issue. But looking at, again, how they've been playing, I know we keep reiterating it, things are looking pretty good for them to close out. And, I mean, with distance being 4 kills away from 20 as well, yeah, look, another 20 bomb possibility is a big thing for them.
Yep, and Swinister, of course, they still have 2 more rounds to potentially hand out to RMIT Black if they can't manage to stop the momentum that's been building for them. Taking it to 6 all is definite possibility for RMIT Black, and I reckon Swinister might be panicking a little bit. They probably would want to close this out early and not risk a 3rd map on Clubhouse. And now Jin is going to be coming up. They're going to be preparing for an early library take, which is quite aggressive. One enemy actually stuck right in the corner across from Pluto, across that wall there. Castle barricades have been set down, and Drone is going to be coming out, so he is going to be stuck in that corner, and if there is good teamwork, he might be able to get caught out. Flash is coming through to try and flush them out, but he does have defenders to back him up. Wamai stuck in the corner, and actually nobody to support him, so he's a bit of a... I think it's a bit of a suicide position there. Hibana's going to try and contest, but Nichi has been prone. Flores Drone doesn't manage to catch him. He's going to be staying there. Flashes and all the utilities, so much wasted on one player, but he is still alive and kicking, and actually didn't risk. And he is going to be ready to almost get the hatch drop. Another Flores Drone wasted. Nichi is just playing mind games with them, but Pappy's finally come upstairs to support him. A 3rd Flores Drone. So much utility wasted and nothing gained. But finally, one last grenade comes out and Pluto catches Nichi out.
That's really good from Nichi there. A lot of time wasted, a lot of utility drawn out. Unfortunately, though, for Puppy Rico, it's not going to be enough. He's going to lose his head in the process. And Swinster, something has just gone very wrong for them in these last couple of rounds. They just cannot seem to catch a break. They've been making some very critical mistakes, and it's really good to see RMIT capitalizing on these. But given the lead that they have had, this is definitely shaping up to be a lot more interesting of a match, provided that we're possibly looking at the flawless, and indeed we will get it. It has been an absolute gear switch here for RMIT Black, but again, this is a very attacker-sided map, so nothing too surprising, but still, in saying that, given Swinster have been very dominant in this matchup, interesting to see that they've let sort of, 3 rounds slip in a row here.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Swinister have not really been giving the rest of RMIT Blacks deserve, and they're finally showing them that they are actually in this grand final and they deserve to be here. Picking up these multiple rounds in a row is very good to see. Nichi probably could have gone down the hatch a bit sooner. He decided to stick around a bit longer, and of course he finally does get shut down. Pappy wasn't quite there to back him up. It was a bit of an interesting positional change there. I don't think it was quite the best from what we've seen with Swinister, with how they would normally play off each other, and just getting picked off really quickly from all the angles. RMIT Black's positioning, I reckon, has improved. They had all the windows locked down on library, watching all the angles where the defenders could come through. So now losing that, Swinister are going to go back down to the basement side, which they did look
really good on, I think, is what he was going to say before he disconnected. He'll be back in a second. But yeah, they've looked really good on this downstairs site. We saw them win it, albeit it was actually a 2v4 that they won it on. So Distance and Goof sort of pulling off some pretty big things in that sort of last dying moments of that round that they did win it on. So it'll be the big question now will be whether or not RMIT Black have sort of changed anything up for this bottom floor. We're not seeing the Thermite from Beluga, but instead the Maverick being bought by Jin, and he's actually going to take a lot of damage on the opening seconds of this round from Goofed. No kill either way, but damage is damage, especially with Finker not being played here for the attacking side. Goofed, unfortunately, not going to find that kill on the re-peek into spawn, but still, damage is damage against a team like RMIT Black.
Yeah, you don't want your Maverick to get tagged at all, I reckon, because he is always going to be slightly injured trying to complete the hard breach or the Maverick trick onto the garage wall if possible. But it looks like they're going to be going for a different take, setting up for a backside take, in fact, which probably will catch them off guard. Jin is well positioned to open that hatch with his teammates to support him. Probably best not to pick that angle because he is a really important player. No other hard breaches on the board or any squares, so it's all up to Jin to actually open up the site. But distance is ready. The Warden, just so oppressive, is going to be denying a lot of utility, but it doesn't matter. You can't block out a frag grenade like you can with smokes and flash, and he gets taken out. Good pick, but the trade out with raindrops falling as well is going to be
unfortunate, with Goof finding a second on the Beluga as well. Questionable as to why Distance didn't have an ADS on that shield there. Obviously, with the Jaeger in play, it's something that we should probably be expecting, but in saying that, it just hasn't happened there, unfortunately, for him. Pluto will find one on the Nichi, though, so some compensation here for the attacking side, but Jin and Pluto both on dwindling HP amounts, 20 and 30 respectively. With the crossfires inside of the site, things have been sort of slowed down to a brisk sort of pace here for the defense. They're just sort of waiting for them to walk on in, playing their frags. Pluto is going to be the entry, taken down by Peepo, though. Things for Axe Hydra and Jin not looking great. A little bit better with Axe finding that kill. Equalizes things out in terms of the health count both ways, but 40 seconds left for the execute.
Yep, just going to be taking out the Mew Jammer to get the ace to open the flanking wall, so there's extra places to have to look through. Jin picks up another one on Goofed, and this is not looking too bad for RMIT Black. 2v1 situation. Health might not be in their favor, but the numbers are. And Maverick is going to be getting the plant down in a very safe position as Peepo not being able to respond in time. Nitro Throw comes out, isn't going to find the Maverick, who is hidden behind the solid brick wall. Getting tagged slightly, trying to contest, but Peepo is in a very poor spot, and nice job there by Jin to confirm the kill, wrapping around. And yeah, I like that. That was very good. I think the ADS might not have been prepped because they weren't expecting a backside push, but of course you should always protect your Warden with ADSs regardless of where you expect them to push from. I believe at least 2 were committed on the garage, and they just didn't have time to reposition that, which played into RMIT's favor, that there was not proper utility, and losing that Warden early was very costly.
It was a pretty big position for them, sort of that required to be held on to. But yeah, I mean, we are about to see a 5-1 half trade here unless Swinister can do something pretty drastic. Because yeah, they are struggling right now considerably. On the defense side of Chalet, again though, a very attacker-sided map. So not surprising that we've seen it unfold like we have. I mean, very dominant attacking halves, both teams, and you know, given that it has been a very difficult game so far for RMIT Black, it seems things have been looking difficult for both teams on the defense. It doesn't seem like anyone is as confident as they are on the attack of Chalet. So some big kills as well, given that this one's gone on for a little bit longer. Jin for 12, Pluto for 10, 16 from distance, and 11 from Goof are some regardable numbers. But yeah, things are shaping up to be. Well, it's definitely been a long one, and we could still go on yet further, provided RMIT Black find this last round.
I think Jaeger has learned his lesson, and he's going to commit one less ADS charge on that garage, but instead RMIT Black going to be keeping it fresh, going to instead switch to the opposite side now. But that's okay, there's still one ADS charge there, not 2, but 1 is still pretty good. And very quick top torch there going out to just get the defenders got some bit of server problems happening, so hopefully there won't be too much trouble there. RMIT Black, of course, one win array from making it into overtime, which is definitely what they need. And just going to be contesting that. I like that they have tried to really keep Swinister guessing on exactly where they're going to push from. Early Maverick trick to open the top side so that there could be an upside down repel opportunity. But instead they're going to actually be committing to the backside push. But Warden is once again ready, and he does have ADS charges to protect him.
You'd hope. You'd hope that there was some utility available this time. It is going to be through the wall. We can see a large presence from RMIT Black towards, again, that north side towards the double garage. Goofed on the same flank he was in the previous round, so whether or not he can find two again is a big question here for defense. But there's an hour and 30, a minute and 30 left in play, so there's a good amount of time for a lot to happen. Obviously, the flank from Goofed could be huge here, but it is being actively held to some degree by raindrops on the drone in West Main. So there's that. But there's some good positions in sight for Swinister as well. The shield is, I believe, yes, has been cleared out, but distance is still alive this time. So it's better than having him dead.
And nice positioning there by Goofed on the hatch. We'll be able to catch any pushes coming in with surprise. Distance is going to be droned out, and he's going to be falling back. That's a very Hail Mary and very risky run back, and he manages to make it out safely. Axe Hydra takes out Pappy, but distance is tagged down very low. Good refrag there, Goofed onto Axe Hydra.
Goof from the hatch as well. He's actually going to find two. The diffuser in his control as well. This is going to make planting a whole lot harder here to take Pluto as well. Very well done, Beluga, for one, but it's not enough. They have to get the bomb and go for another reattempt at the plant. But given that Goof is still at large upstairs, they don't even know where he's safe to plant anymore. He's going to have to go deep into the site to try and get this bomb down. Jin has rotated around to try and support. Goofed a lot of damage onto Beluga, not enough. Peeper to go down. It's a 1 versus 2 for Goofed. He's done it before. Can he do it again? Bolting on in. No, it's OT. RMIT Black, a 5-1 trade and a half. Sending us all the way to OT. Swinister fumbling the bag tremendously.
And fumbling indeed, and the game is not looking too nicely onto them. Swinister going to be starting off on the defense as well. RMIT going to be sticking on the attack where they've looked so confident and so strong on. Pulling it back, very, very good effort. This is probably why they picked this map, because they were confident on the attack. Indeed. Because it is an attacker-sided map, as we've seen, starting off on the attack there. Swinister just falling apart. I think their positioning wasn't quite there, but I like that Goofed was sort of on the hatch drop there, and he did pick up a couple kills, sort of losing the gunfight in the end. Not quite playing off each other as strongly as they used to in previous matches, and I think that's sort of why they're falling short in a lot of these defense rounds.
Something's been happening, because compared to map 1, this has been a very weird map 2, if I'm being completely honest. There was a large amount of dominance, and it's gone. This is RMIT Black's pick though, so no real surprise there that they've managed to claw it back to the position we're seeing it in, and they're going to get attack on OT here, so they are going to be very happy with the position they found themselves in, sort of round-wise. But yeah, Swinsters, they're going to have to change something up pretty big here. They're not going to go downstairs. They're going to change to the top floor for this first round in OT. But yeah, it's scary.
Yep, and they're going to be coming up with the Aruni, in fact, to try and further deny that double wall opening on mezzanine. Beluga but going to be getting contested from the library push, but Goofed is just going to fall back down. He has one impact, no nitro to actually get anyone jumping in, and it's just going to be pulling all the way back. Goofed always committing to these long rotates, and it might work out, and it might not, but he needs to be in a good position to respond to the push. Jin is going to be coming in very confidently, pre-firing on the hatch, taking out the cams, and he is going to come in ready to get that wall open, so they don't actually need to rely on downstairs clear, but it doesn't matter. Raindrops gets downed. Goofed finishing off with the pistol and an impact grenade to boot. 50 HP left, but he is still very confident and hiding, dwelling in basement.
Gooft has gone from 8 kills to 1 kill away from being on par with Distance, who has not found a kill in, I think, 4 rounds, if I want to sort of be correct. He is going to take a lot of damage to the main breach, I believe, on a pixel. But given that he is Thunderbird, he's going to be able to sort of disappear off into the closet here, get himself back up to full HP, and sort of act like it never happened. Goofed is off-site, so he's not going to have that luxury just yet. Doing a little bit of damage to Jin, possibly, might have been what happened there. But the fact that he is on this roam, sort of just poking and prodding, is going to be huge here. Now, Maverick has walked into the site. Peepo has not spotted the head, but isn't actually going to spot the cross at all. They're going to walk on in. Distance is there. We'll take him down, though. So even getting past the player isn't going to do too much. Beluga to now find Peepo on the trade, but it's fine. The cross from Axe Hydra will spot Nietzsche out on the main stairs. Beluga to go down. It's all up to the ace. Low HP. Swinster, the one defense round that they needed, they're looking like they're about to find, but it took them 4 rounds to figure out how to.
Yeah, and just falling one by one. Last minute Finker boost was able to save Beluga for a little bit longer to get one more kill, but now it's just all up to Axe Hydra to try and close this out 1v3, and is not going to be looking the right way as Pappy a nice crossfire with the piano player to get the final kill.
Yeah, it just took them, what, 5 rounds to sort of designate what was going on there. Thankfully, they found out what was happening. They've made some changes. It might have been the fact that it was bottom floor. I mean, that is statistically one of the hardest sites to hold on Chalet, and teams will usually just straight up ignore it. And I was very surprised that A, they played it, and B, they actually won it first time they did. So, in saying that, they've got a little bit lucky on the top floor there, possibly, and RMIT Black are going to be thrusted back onto the defense side, which we saw them win 1 round on. So take that as you will, with Swinster being on the attack, and a very aggressive attacker-sided team at that. Distance did find some kills in that last round. He's 2 away from 20 now, so provided he finds 2 in this round, where, let's be honest, he was having an absolute heater on the Yana before the split, so I'd imagine it's doable here. But Goofed is catching up. He's 5 away from 20 again himself. So we asked if he could keep that momentum up and that sort of level of play. He definitely can, because in map 2, 15 kills again is nothing to scoff at.
10 seconds to go.
Yep, and once again on his favorite operator, the Finker. Now it's Swinister's turn to finally get some payback after suffering so many defeats on the defense there. So RMIT Black, I would say, it's probably in a bit of trouble. They need to be confident in this hold. They need to set up these crossfires that are able to confirm the kill. They can't be giving 3 free kills to Goofed, picking 1 at a time and not quite finishing him off. The Finker just being so strong. And now they're just going to get ready for a library take, the classic library take, and of course taking below to clearing the mezzanine utility. And just going to have to see how this goes. Got to play very slowly. One defender is there to contest the library push, I believe, as the drone work is going to be coming through. Very solid. And Mozzie is going to be backed up with the mute. I like seeing this, that 2 are sort of playing together. Going to fall out quite soon. I think Raindrops should be careful that he's not caught out, because once they come into library, he's sort of cut off from Pluto and will need to make the long rotate down the stairs. But that's all good. He comes back into safety. Back into piano.
Bit of a slower approach here for Swinster, given they have the match point advantage in their favour. They don't really want to sort of throw it away on a whim here, so they're checking everything twice before they jump on in anywhere and making sure that it is all very clear before committing to anything too hectically. So far, Goofed on the piano window, though, isn't unfortunately going to spot the player out walking deep inside of piano. So Pluto's actually going to walk away with his life. It could be the jump out here onto Goofed if they want to do it. He is going to hear the prep. Whether or not the jump out is to come straight away, he's actually going to aggress right onto the piano window. Will he go for the shots, though? No, he's got the ping. Are they going to bait the jump out here? The question is Axe Hydra going to commit to the bit? The nade to come into piano isn't going to tempt the K to jump out. Goof just pulls the trigger. He's going to get it.
Oh, not looking the right way.
At the timing, Axe Hydra caught on the jump out. Goof there to pick him up. Swinster with the kill now going into the final minute. Had the advantage.
Someone needs to back up the Mozzie playing in piano. Goof picks up another as Beluga tries to rotate. And now Pluto is just on his own. Solarium is there with Jin trying to sort of back up Mozzie, but Mozzie is in a very precarious position. Jin has to look the other way. It's a 3v5. Very strong numbers as Raindrops might be attempting a Hail Mary play, gets naded slightly, but he's going to try and peek out. Does not look the right way as Peepo peeks at the wrong time as he's pulling out the gas canister. 30 seconds on the clock and 2v4, but 2v3, Pluto picks up one, but Distance finishes it off. Oh no, he was one away from getting a 20k. Maybe he will get picked up by his teammate, but it's all up to Jin left. Plant coming down by Peepo as Jin crosses over to piano, but the defenders, nice pick there, finishing off Distance, preventing the 20k from happening, stuck on 19 if he does not manage to clutch this up. And the plant has come down. Nice crossfire there. Nichi just running to rotate to piano for some reason. Jin is in a very good and strong position to clutch this up. Peepo gets caught out. The beautiful clutch there by Jin, taking, I believe, was that 4 or 5 kills. Just beautifully played. The attackers falling one by one. They're not quite holding their positions, not quite there on the crossfire. Despite the early mishap by the Kaid, it didn't matter. Jin's just better.
How do they let that happen? 3 players alive. I mean, I know Jin is Jin. He's 1v5'd before, but come on, guys. Top of your groups. These mistakes should not be being made. You lose the pick in Distance. You need to just back off. Play for a drone. Play for some info. But instead, it was commit. Everyone sort of played their positions, let's all swing, and Jin was arguably just given freebies. Now, the possibility of a 20 bomb is back on for Distance, as there is now another round that needs to be played, unfortunately. For Swinster, this is not going to be a quick one, and we could actually be going to map number 3, but this is max regulation time, max OTs. There's as many as you can get in a game of Rainbow Six Siege, so there is no more second chances. Whoever wins this will walk away with the map, and whether or not that is RMIT Black sending us onto a 3rd or Swins to figure out what's going on and send us back to the casting desk for nothing more, we don't know just yet. But look, it's getting pretty dire in the Swinster camp. We have noticed that some server issues have been happening as well in terms of the latency and lag on the screen that we may or may not be seeing. So whether or not that's affecting the players or just us, I'm not too sure. If it is affecting the players, then obviously fair enough. I would understand why, but you never know. But yeah, look, it's been a bit rough so far for Swinster. They've just traded pretty much a 6-2 both ways, and we're looking down the barrel of the final round. This is it.
Yeah, bit of caster curse coming out, I believe, Proto. You said that it was likely a Swinister win, and it's very highly... It's not like out of the question that RMIT could clutch it. Torches out. Numbers advantage, just not coming through there. Jin, I think, not quite sure, is he trying to open the wall or just trying to get a head high peek through, just trying to apply some pressure there. Just to distract them as the team is going to go. Pluto gets a free kill onto Goofed. Maybe an ADS wasn't actually prepped again. These little mistakes, just getting caught out by these cheeky utility usages. And that's a nice pickup for RMIT Black, and they're looking confident in this final attack round.
Goofed going down early is going to make things really hard for Swinster here. A big fragger for them, taken off the board with Raindrops ready to take this flanker down. Jin as well to take Distance out with a frag grenade, and things just keep getting infinitely harder here for the defense. It's almost like RMIT Black have got this bottom floor attack down to clockwork. Puppy is going to get hit by the air jab. Will find one headshot. He's actually going to get away as well. Finds Jin and manages to retreat all the way back to the kitchen hallway, but Pluto to take down Nichi. To 2 versus 4 with one player being on site here for Swinster. Peepo inside of blue on her lonesome. Puppy Rico has made it back to the site though, so there is some help. The bomb now starting to go down. It will be an aggression into the storage room, but the swing to come out, it's going to get taken down with Pluto for a double. looking for 20 kills of his own, but unfortunately, given that was the last round, he's not going to get him, and we're going all the way to map 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Clubhouse will be the decider for this evening, but really well done by RMIT Black.
Yeah, big congratulations to them. They really pulled, they were clutching at straws back there when it was 1-5 or 2-6, and they came back very strong. Swinister absolutely throwing this map, I reckon, or maybe Chalet is just such a strong attacker-sided map. So props to them, and we're going to be taking it to Clubhouse, in fact. But of course, we wouldn't be here without our sponsors. The AEL is sponsored by Predator, the gaming PC partner, AOC Monitors, the monitor partner, and of course, RIG, the headset partner. And now we'll just be taking to a short break as we head into Clubhouse. And once again, congratulations to both teams. It's been an amazing night so far, and let's continue with the hype. Thank you.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I just
I'm Hunzi and I'm a cosplayer and streamer, and today we're checking out the Nitro 5 by Acer. This is honestly one of the smoothest gameplay experiences that I've had, especially on a laptop. The graphics are amazing, it's not laggy, it's very lightweight. The keyboard feels really nice to play with, and I love the RGB lights. Look how pretty they are. We love a rainbow. Yes! 4-star! 4-star character! If you're looking for a gaming laptop on the go, be sure to check out Acer's range.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the short break. Unfortunately, we've had some technical issues behind the scenes, so Commandant is not here as of just yet, but he will be joining us momentarily. For the moment, you are stuck with myself on the desk. Just before we head into map 3, map 1 in favour of Swinister on Villa 7-2. Map 2 going in the favour of RMIT in a bit of a reverse sort of go around, but both teams walking away with their map picks respectively. An 8-7 though on RMIT's part for Chalet, which is interesting. But here we are going into Club, our final map with Swinister starting on the defense. Obviously, Clubhouse being a defender-sided map, no real surprise that given they have the choice, that is where they're choosing to go right off the bat. And yeah, I think they're just going to keep things relatively clean cut and polished here. It is third map, so they do have to sort of take into account the fatigue setting in. Obviously, a best of 3 is a big series to play, let alone having a max OT game right in the middle. So, and on top of that, having a 6-1 lead at the half and then unfortunately fumbling that bag a little bit. Excuse me, but Thatcher and Knock, actually, the two characters to go down. Knock, an interesting band to say the least, given that her prominence on Clubhouse isn't necessarily as big as it is, say, on Villa. But yeah, Knock to go nonetheless, as well as Cade now on the side of RMIT's band. Swinister with the final, I'd imagine probably a Valk/Mirror, but they can choose to leave one of these up, and Mirror will be the operator that makes it through the banning phase this time. But nothing really out of the ordinary there for Clubhouse aside from the Knock. Everything else relatively straightforward. Goof dropping a hee in chat, so maybe they know something about the Knock that we don't, but other than that, Mirror has been left up and is coming into fruition straight away. Puppy is going to be bringing her out first round for a downstairs hold. And it is going to be straight downstairs here for Swinister. They're looking to get the strongest side out first to try and find an early round. A double hard breach set up for RMIT Black, with obviously the supporting hard breach from Maverick, so make it 3. And yeah, pretty decent lineups from both of these teams. It is the third map. So again, reiteration, we do have to keep in mind that it is getting late, ladies and gentlemen. It is almost, well, it's 10:30 now, so it's definitely moving on for stressed out uni students. Simon's end of semester, all of that cool stuff is right here around the corner for everyone. So I feel the pain for everyone. I feel the pain, but ultimately, map number 3 is where it ends. There are no more after this. So the final chance for both of these teams to walk away with a spot cemented in the grand final. Obviously, we don't know which one it is just yet, but given that both teams have 1-1, it's essentially just a best of 1 with extra steps. Nietzsche setting up in dirt, and yeah, we're still waiting for Commandant to come back. Waiting on confirmation on whether he is. He's here!
Yes.
Commandant,
So sorry
thoughts on
for
Club?
technical issues, but yeah, back on Club. Swinister really enjoying their basement size. Going to be beelining straight for the Church Arsenal site. Mirror is going to be left up very interestingly, and Pappy is going to capitalize on that. Jen, of course, taking the Thinker role. Thinker just always dominant on every single round and map being played. But we've got a nice lineup going on. Jackal by Raindrops, it's very crucial that they get rid of any of the roamers. Club notorious for those, especially if you haven't cleared them out and you're just going to get flanked from behind. But Goof there, very cheeky setup, might be able to find one coming through garage. He's gonna hear it, he's gonna peek around. The drone work not coming out, but he doesn't quite land it. The crossfire not quite there to catch up onto Goof. He gets away safely, taking Beluga taking quite heavy health losses, down to half health. But that's alright, he gets away, and still plenty of time left to get some payback.
Obviously, with Finker in play as well, they do have 3 of those adrenal surges to get Beluga back to full HP. But with Puppy taking down Raindrops on the mirror, that is the Jackal, a bit of Spaniard on Spaniard violence. And losing Raindrops early on is not a good pick to lose if you're RMIT Black. He still had all of that tracking utility available, so things now made that a little bit harder. Doesn't have the Nitro in play anymore, unfortunately, so he can't quite go for the Nitro on the play that he did just spot, but Goofed is there to find Pluto, so we'll be able to at least find 1 kill, not finishing off the one he already started on. But yeah, verticality in the kitchen is going to be a big point here for RMIT Black, given that that's pretty much all they have left to work off of.
Yeah, a bit of poor drone work is coming out once again. I don't think Gooft should have been able to play in storage when Sledge just runs away without even checking it. No one to confirm any players in there, but nice kill there, Jin. Taking out Pappy for first kill on their side. That's going to be very important. Finker's still up, of course, but Gooft is playing in a pretty strong position. He's going to push up. Tags gets not a very nice trade on, gets tagged very low, and Sledge probably thought he downed the person, in fact, or was just preoccupied by the hatch. Tries to get the cross through the garage, and Gooft is getting stuck on the motorbikes, hoping to get the pick, and he's gonna drop now. The plant is coming down with 8 seconds to go, so definitely forced now. Hibana gonna be getting off it temporarily, coming back up, but it doesn't matter. Axe Hydra just keeping everything in check, gonna be covering for his teammate. Very well played by RMIT Black, but I think that came down really close. Gooft maybe needed to rotate a bit sooner, but pretty good for RMIT Black, picking up the first win.
Well done from them. Especially given that, you know, third map, this wasn't necessarily anybody's specific pick, but they'll take round 1 and off the back of some really good refragging there. Swinister had the man advantage going into the end of it, but, you know, some kills here and there definitely shaped up for them well. Good crossfire at the end as well from the supporting Finker, so you can't really complain too much. But yeah, unfortunate that Goof couldn't make it happen. It was very close had he not been taken out by the player on the cross there. But yeah, solid start to map number 3 for RMIT Black, and the question is can they be the team that finds the lead over Swinister this time?
Could go either way. I'm not quite sure if it's attacker or defense decided. But of course, Pappy on the mirror, I feel, is always very strong play there. But good aggression there from the vertical play, especially with the Sledge. But the drone work can definitely be improved. Goof shouldn't be allowed to be playing in storage with the Sledge running through.
Yeah, something about the Sledge. He's been he did some good verticality in the last round. We saw him sort of ripping up that kitchen floor and arguably allowed RMIT Black to have a lot of control towards back armory AKs, which is where the bomb was going down in the end. So it's good to see that he's having his uses, obviously frag grenades as well, in the hands of a very capable player, Beluga. No real surprise that we saw him have as much impact as we did, but it's going to be a reattempt on the bottom floor here for Swin, so they have Raindrops back on that Jackal, and unfortunately no footprints at the top of main for him to collect just yet. They will get, Goofed will actually get a tag there with his alibi clone, but inside of the garage, no. This is going to be a free kill onto Jin if he finds him. No, he's going to walk straight up the garage stairs. This might be a freeway. Yes, it will. An absolute freebie. And he's going to get away as well. Jin to go down, the Finker. A big pick to lose early on.
Yeah, you don't want to use Jin. He's been such a valuable player so far across this series. One of the top fraggers, and of course playing Finker, one of the strongest operators currently. And as I reiterate once again, the drone work needs to be improved. These things can't be allowed to happen. Why is Goof allowed to be sitting in the corner of garage completely undroned. Jin completely oblivious to his positioning. And Goof almost making it out as well. He does get tagged very low, but does finish off Pluto in the process. And it's not looking quite good. Does finally get finished off by Raindrop.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Jackal Scan comes out, does catch one player, but probably isn't going to be able to get too much information out of it as that player is safe on site. A 3v4 situation, they're going to be getting ready to commit to the drop soon, but there is plenty of defenders already watching the hatch drop, and they're going to be opting for potentially a rotate through the tunnel side, but they are kind of putting all their eggs in one basket for this push. They can't afford to go down main stairs, of course, because the mirror is still in play. Happy, very strong position, and does have the Nitro up to contest. Smoke's coming out from the attackers to cover the drop, and the plant is coming down by the sledge with pressure from tunnels as well. Raindrops gets taken down, but Axe Hydra is sort of there to cover him. Unfortunately, the plant has been stopped, and Nichi just taking care of all the attackers by himself, a one-man army.
Really well done from the smoke there as well to finish that one off, or the mute, whichever one it was. Someone with an SMG-11. But yeah, they're going to get that round back on the board for themselves, so they're not in the deficit anymore, and close down the bottom floor. So good for them in terms of the site. Now, obviously, up to Gym and Bedroom, choosing to bypass the cache CC bomb site as their secondary pick. More going on to the tertiary, well, sorry, I should say usual tertiary pick for most teams. But we've seen Master Bedroom sort of have a resurgence, not even a resurgence, more of just an increased pick rate as a sort of primary, secondary bomb site, given the clubhouse rework in this last sort of competitive season.
Yeah, probably just trying to keep the attackers sort of guessing, always trying to force them to change the operator picks. Just that little bit kind of helps, I guess, because they're not quite sure what they need to play, and they need to be on the board ready with the operator switch, of course. Classic setup coming up, got to be defending cache CCTV, the extended hold just to slow them down. Some sound holes being played out by Goofed, but they need to improve their drone work. I've been banging out about this the whole time. And it's really at the expense of losing Jin early half the time, and they can't really afford that. And I'm surprised that a lot of utility is actually going to be dedicated to this extended hold, a shield, an ADS, a lot of reinforcements. So potentially RMIT Black might, if they have good drone work, check this out and think, hey, why don't we just go the other side instead? Going to be taking out Jacuzzi Wall since they've committed a couple roamers and utility over on that opposite direction. But Pluto's going to make short work of this wall, getting open with the Maverick. But there are plenty of hard breaches left. The Hibana is ready, of course, to take out Jacuzzi Wall.
Having the double hard brick set up here is going to be a big part of RMIT Black's strategy. Obviously, they want to get everything open, or at least as much as they can open, before they look to go for the execute. And unfortunately for them, Goofed is going to open things up with a kill onto Jin. Again, he's not been getting very lucky on these opening rounds, or at least opening minutes. He's been going down early a lot of the time, unfortunately, for his team, which on the Finker is not what you want to be doing. You want to be living for as long as you can, even if you're not finding kills, just to have those adrenal surges available. So it's going to cost them in the end. They're not going to be able to regen any health if they start taking damage later on in this round. And they're going to try and hunt for Goofed here, but I think it's not going to be to any real avail. Beluga's just sort of running around inside of the bar, not really achieving much on the sledge, where his frag grenades could be used elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not liking that he's sort of trying to roam clear by himself. No drone is supporting him, so he has to actually check all the angles individually. Nichi is there to try and contest, does find him, but Sledge manages to cross over to safety behind the wall, and Nichi's just going to pull back, playing it pretty safely, in fact. But yeah, frag grenades can still come out. Peepo actually gets fragged, in fact, but that soft wall could prove deadly, but instead it does not go the way of Nichi. Gets taken out and downed by Raindrops. Another one downed and finished off. Pluto picking up 2 kills from that office drop. Might find a third as the ping comes out, but the jump in not working out for the Ana. Goofed finishing it off. sort of evening them back, but no, the trades are coming out on both sides. Beluga and Pappy taking out each other in self-destruct as the plant is coming down now by the Maverick, as Goof is going to try and contest. Ping
Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser.
Goofed finds that kill on the Pluto. He needs one more. Axe Hydra, the only player left to stop him, but he's going to be straight onto the defuse. Axe Hydra has to get aggressive to try and stop this, but the bait from Goof. The pings are there. They have the information. He's going to try and switch things up to swap sides to stick this defuse. He's going to get it, but the down there, Goof surviving on low HP for Swinister in a huge 1v2. It's going to close out the top floor.
Defenders disabled the
Very well done for the defense.
defender mission
Goof
successful.
needs to be shut down. He's always getting the opening trade, especially onto Jin. That was a heavy loss for the attacking team, but they did manage to sort of recover very well. RMIT getting the plant down with a 2-1 advantage. Just not working out in the end. Crossfire's not quite there. And Goof is just probably more confident and just better, as we've seen in this entire series. Once again, drone work needs to be improved, and I don't think Jin should be entry fragging, or at least Vinker should be given to a different player so that its utility can last a bit longer.
Yeah, Vinker hasn't had too much of an avail in this second map. It's
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
maybe not necessarily Jin's fault,
No, of course not.
but more him being outplayed and not having the correct utility provided to help him in doing what he does best, which is shoot people. So arguably, yes, he should be left on the entry position, and no, he should not forfeit Finker up, I would argue. It is more the fact that RMIT Black have been very lax in providing him with the help that he requires to be an entry fragger. You cannot solo push everything and win mechanics check gunfights
10 seconds.
without any information. Jin's mechanics, without a question,
5 seconds
are
left.
very good, but when paired without sort of anything with without drones, etc., it is a lot harder. They are going to put Beluga on the Finker this round, though, given that he sort of doesn't really have too much effect on the entry, given that he is more of a supporting player. So fair enough to make that switch. Jin's on something a little bit more easier to shoot with on the buck, probably something he's a bit more comfortable on as well.
A bomb has been located.
Not quite what we want to see on that soft board there. Some phallic structures, and Jin is going to easily clean that up. Prepping the wall for the Maverick Pluto to open up with ease. But early pick, raindrops going down, I think, from a cheeky spawn peak there. Not what you want to see, losing the Florist, because that's important utility loss, which can often be very important to try and clear out the shield that might be on red stairs. But Pluto needs some support. He needs his teammates to be watching the runouts, and no one is actually on the upside down rappel, which you normally kind of see because defenders always like to try and contest that. Goof going once again to try and get another one. Pappy is going to get taken down very low in the meantime, trying to contest, but very nicely played there. I think it was some kind of damage. Wasn't quite sure, but the wall is pretty much opened up. So very good timing there. Goof's still trying to get an easy pick. He's going to tag Axe Hydra to half, in fact, but he's going to fall off pretty safely. He's got what he wanted. He's trying to keep them very paranoid. And now Maverick is going to get the final last stretch.
It's the jump out, though, from distance to find one. Peepo taken down on the trade, but Goof to finally finish off Axe Hydra from previously, and looking to actually take Jin out as well here, but it's actually going to be the player on the garage stairs. Doesn't matter, Pluto. He's going to get taken down. We'll down Goof, but it's not enough to count. No kill, unfortunately, there. Nichi on the run out. It's going to be looking to find what's left of Jin, but the res is there, so Goof is put back on the board, and he will be able to at least do something for the remainder of this round. Jin taking a lot of damage and a very brunt force push here, but distance from the garage door to close things out. Unfortunately, not really much you can do in that situation, given that the aggression is just so in your face from Swinister, and they're going to look to shut down that CC round as well.
Yeah, very confidently played. Maverick trying to open that wall was a bit more difficult. They did get open in the end, but just not quite finding the picks. I think the opposite flanking push did not quite materialize, and yeah, very good jump out there to shut that down. Shut down any bedroom-sided push or any CCTV window like threat coming out. Oftentimes you would want to see Garage potentially being contested, but of course very difficult to play. When someone's on rafters, you don't have the utility such as necessary nades, maybe a shield to actually push them out. But that's going quite well so far for Swinister. They had a successful rotation and now they're going to be back on the basement's hold. Where once again coming out, it's proved very useful utility, pretty much stopping the main stairs push most of the time.
Yeah, it's been rough, unfortunately, so far on Clubhouse for RMIT Black. They've been struggling a little bit. But in saying that, I mean, RMIT Black have had a lot of really close rounds. And if not close, they've had a good start, and then it's just sort of fallen apart for them. So it's, I don't know, it is very 50-50 at the moment, or at least it seems like it. I know the round count doesn't necessarily reflect that, but it definitely seems very interesting.
And Beluga is just walking in so confidently. He's going to be seeing and does not find Gooft. I'm not sure why he's entry fragging on his own, once again without a drone. Gooft is just there ready and confident with the gun, and the drone is just going to come out very late.
There was a drone there in front of him.
Oh, there was?
It just went up the rafters stairs. I don't think it spotted him inside of the sort of waiting room. But yeah, there was a drone, I do believe, early.
But you know, Gooft has been playing in playing in storage for the past few rounds every time on Church, so I feel like he was expecting it, but unfortunately did not win the gunfight. Gooft just taking him out and losing the finger early once again is just gonna hurt so much more.
Oh, Gooft is allowed to do goof things. He's going to be finally taken down, though, by Pluto, albeit dealing way too much damage to even think about being consolidated for, well, given that the Finker has gone down first, Beluga. So, Pluto's going to have to play the rest of this round on 5 health, given that resets are not as strong as they used to be, and I say that change has been in the game for, like, what, 4 years or something ridiculous. But yeah, rest in peace the reset, man. But yeah, they still have hard breaches left and plenty of good ability to open up these hatches. And they're going to do just that. And given that it's also downstairs, Swinister, having dealt all that damage from Gooft, it's looking good. Oh, what a nade from Pluto there. I believe on the hatch inside of stock, very well placed. It's going to take down Nietzsche inside of the site, mute to fall, and very quickly things swing back in favour of RMIT Black. Swinister still have good positional on side of the site though. 3 versus 4 with a mirror on the board is going to make their life a whole lot easier, but aggressing down blue. Pluto's going to see an absolute freebie and he's going to collect it. Player on the mirror though, Peepo to collect will take a lot of damage from the stock hatch, but it doesn't matter. Inside of the site is going to be raindrops to find Peepo, and now very quickly things left to distance. He's on the kitchen hatch. Will he be able to spot the planter out? Yes, he will. He's got the plenty amount to wait on time. One tap onto the planter, the bomb now down in his sights. Can they retrieve it and plant the diffuser? They don't even know where he is. They don't know he's on the kitchen hatch. He can spot the player out. He's going to pick the pistol up. They don't know that he's up there. The bomb going down. He's going to kill the supporting player. He has to drop, but he's not knowing the bomb's planting right below him. What's going on? The sound cues were there. He just didn't realise. The fact that they didn't know he was on the kitchen hatch either.
That was absolutely surprising. They were lost, and
everyone was lost.
I was lost. Everyone was lost. I don't know what happened there. What can I say? Like, freebie picked up on the echo by Pluto walking down. They had the mirror wall up with Jaeger watching it, so bit of this miscommunication. Maybe Echo didn't realize the angle that can be seen by how far Pluto had pushed up. In fact, good flank play by the hatch there, finding that one tap onto the initial planter. But yeah, the sound cues, maybe it was a game glitch because they didn't realize that the diffuser was picked up and being planted right closer in a tighter angle to hatch, and the Hail Mary drop not quite working out. The gun cannot be pulled up in time, and easy kill by raindrops. Maybe he could have afforded to wait a bit longer, perhaps. But yeah, good try there. He did pick up one more, but just lost the 1v1 in the end.
I mean, he killed one player, right, which means the other player has to be planting. He heard the planting sound cue, and he killed the player that would be most likely planting. So, given that the bomb was not going down, interesting he chose to drop. But again, he doesn't see what we see. So, while it may seem very simple for us, it may not be that simple in game. Obviously, audio cues different, etc. You know, drones, whatever.
Yeah.
So unfortunate there. Very well done. A good attempt. Could have been huge for them. But unfortunately, didn't work out in the end. And RMIT Black will claim it as their second. But ultimately, still, Swinister hold the lead and are looking good for a 4-2 here. They're going to reattempt on the bottom floor. Maybe something just went very wrong for them and they think that they can rectify that issue. Obviously, being a confident team, they are pretty confident in their ability. Jin, though, within an inch of his own life, Goof from the main stairs window, and Nietzsche now getting aggressive. He's actually going to be able to collect that kill onto Jin, and he did get dirt open before being taken down, but at that point, cost and effect. You lose a buck, you get dirt open. Not really a worth trade.
Yeah, I like that they're playing off each other with that very good aggression. Maybe someone should have been watching tunnel, but you know, you don't really expect the defenders to be in your face like that. Goof always challenging those spawn peak angles. Gonna not be able to find a second one, gets downed in the process. Good on raindrops to shut him down and avenging Jin right there. Axe Hydra did get taken down half health in the meantime. Probably as well, but they do get the hatch open and just remove the utility, getting ready for a boil potentially, or just to flush out the mirror playing on there. But it is going to be a bit difficult as Axe Hydra going to be getting the mirror open potentially with his X-Kairos, and surely will now be switching over to the kitchen side. But Peepo in the meantime gets the kill onto Beluga, and once again in the advantage of Swinisters.
Oh, it's a minute and 10 left in play. A 3 versus 4 with Swinister holding the man count advantage. Well, and lady. We keep saying man count. We have to recognise that Peepo is here. Axe Hydra will take down distance. That's a good kill to find. Pluto taking down Peepo as well. She's going to fall in the crossfire, but Nietzsche's still inside of dirt. It's good for one. Pluto to find Nietzsche. A lot of damage dealt. Leaves things up to Puppy. Hasn't spotted the player by AKs. Nitro to go the wrong way. He's not going to connect. From D-Box, he will find that player now. Pluto, 1 HP in a dream. Needs to clutch this round, but the push with a pistol. No sound cue there for Rico. He's not going to hear that. And unfortunately, it's going to cost him pistol in hand. Very well done by Pluto on the entry of the Maverick. This man has single-handedly been putting his team on his back in the last 2 games, and ultimately, he's looking to close this one out, or at least put them in a good position to do so, switching over onto the defense.
Yeah. Maybe, I reckon there might be some audio issues here that we're seeing. Players not quite picking it up. But well done to Pluto there. Doesn't matter what HP you're on, you still do, your damage is not diminished at all. And he does finish off with the pistol, of course. Great play there. But Goof still allowed to do Goof things, as you say. He's just able to play very aggressively. Always trying to go for those cheeky spawn peaks. Early pick off onto Jin there, nicely played. But he's just able to get around, just have so much map control, I'd say. Like, no one's really there to shut him down. He really only loses when he's a bit overconfident on the gunfights. But yeah, I reckon he's probably got the most miles on this map so far.
Yeah, he has. It's been the Goose Show, arguably, tonight. Distance did have that one appearance map too, but it's, yeah, look, it's,
10 seconds to go.
It's definitely been more interesting than I think we originally thought it was going to be.
5 seconds left before insertion.
And definitely a lot closer, given that we've seen map 3. It's 3-3 currently as well on clubs, so this is actually the closest half we've seen this evening from a team, which... again, surprising. But yeah, RMIT Black now, they have the better side of the card, being on Defense Clubhouse, and they've done really well to put themselves in that position after the half. But yeah, now it's up to Swinister to either close it out or at least take the lead again. And they're doing well in good fashion, very quickly into the building. two players off towards CC here, directly contesting the site setup that we have going on for RMIT Black. A bit of a late setup here as well for Axe Hydra, and he's probably going to be punished by Distance, who's run straight on in to try and collect that kill, and indeed he will. There we go. Very well done. Good drone usage there from Swinister.
Yeah, nice trade. One drone for Axe Hydra. And Goofed taking out Jin as well. Kind of falling apart really early on. Only 1 minute left. Only 1 minute used up. Swinister's very efficient with their time. Drone does get caught by the new jammer, of course, but Maverick can and will be able to get the wall open. Attempted refrag there from Office through the soft wall. Not quite finding whoever it is. Nietzsche, I believe. But they are kind of just slowing it down a little bit, which is really important. But Beluga, nice pick there, taking out Distance. Pluto gets downed in the meantime, and Beluga will have to try and counter push here. Bit of a really risky res coming down, but it's going to be successful as Gooft is kind of in Africa, I would say, trying to contest down below. He does have his frag grenades. No frags left, in fact, so he will now
try to contest from below. I think is, yeah, from the stairs. And Nietzsche to take down Pluto. Big pick to find the W from Goof, apparently. Not too sure what the call is there from the W. Nade to come into the bathroom is going to force raindrops into the gym. The vault on into the site will be heard, but not aggressed on. A lovely shot from Nietzsche with a pistol there. And ultimately, unfortunately, a little bit of a team kill on the Nietzsche, I believe, to try and save the teammates. KD, maybe. Not too sure, but maybe he thought that was the enemy. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, though, no kill for the mirror, and Goofed at least makes up for it.
Well, I mean, you just shoot anything that moves on site. But good reflexes, I would say, by range, by Goofed, and he is going 14-4, very strong. 5 kills ahead of the nearest competition on the enemy team, that is Pluto. So he is looking confident and has always been dominant in this entire series, always being one of the top fraggers out of both teams, in fact. Axe Hydra, probably a bit, I would say probably a bit cocky, or like should have fallen back if he missed the drone within the with half or the full mag. Probably should have fallen back, but it was good. Good fast acting by Swinister to really pounce on him to get that early pick off. So that's really nice adaptation and really good drone work, and they're always pushing together, being able to get refrags potentially, but always playing off each other really nicely.
It's been an interesting match. I mean, for a 3-map series being on the 3rd and having arguably a very one-sided beginning, Swinster 7-2, going on to a 50-50 8-7 with RMIT walking out on top, then coming into club and again being on that 50-50 sort of playing field. It then begs the question, well, what happened on map 1 to RMIT Black that sort of pushed them to be at such a deficit? I mean, a 7-2, that's a 5-round difference. So what happened there? But in saying that, we're on map 3, so they made up for round 1 and put themselves on the 3rd map. A little bit of damage dealt through the drone hole there by the Cade, but not enough to fight. No, sorry, not the Cade. I think it was actually the Thunderbird, but still, damage is damage. Beluga will take a lot of damage, speaking of, but with Thunderbird on the board, he'll be able to go get that health back, as well as Axe Hydra.
Yeah, some early tagging going on. Pepper Rico gonna slowly be getting that wall open, taking his time, which is always good to see, and always the classic cheeky drone hole shooting. But Goof picks up Axe Hydra. Another kill going to him in his favor with the Finker stem coming down to confirm it. But Jin is already in a position with the vertical play, ready to pounce on him. Nice! Jin does get hit by the nade from Goof, but it doesn't matter. He takes him down and will survive a second nade in the meantime. Nietzsche going to be contesting the garage, the CCTV opening. But good pick there. Lovely play by Jin, and Goof not quite finding it. And Pluto still going to be playing on the garage rafters. Very strong position. And now Swinister going to need to think up of a different attack plan. Distance a little bit lost on where he wants to go. And I think some drone work might be in order here. potentially trying to contest rafters and taking it. A nade is going to be coming up. Might flush out Pluto, in fact. But will get caught by the Wamai.
He's got plenty of util in here as well to sort of hold on for his life. He will be down. The Kona obviously not available for him means that Raindrops is going to have to force off, but it's actually a nade to find Jin with Puppy taking down Pluto there for the confirm as well. Distance has vaulted in suicide, so he is in good positions to find the kill on the Beluga. Indeed he will. Raindrops now the last alive. Does a lot of damage to Peepo from deep inside a swamp. Will actually find the down, and that's the kit on the floor. Yet to be retrieved here for Swinister. Nitro as well. He has the kit control. He knows the diffuser is on the stairs in a position that he can hold on to, but it is going to be Puppy to find him on coming down the garage stairs. Shot in the back of the head while retrieving the diffuser. Unfortunately for him, it's not going to be able to get that clutch off, but did some good damage before being taken out. A little bit of a stat pad there, but at the end of the day, Swinister, they're going to walk away with a 2-round lead now.
Yeah, I mean, RMIT Black didn't look too bad on the defense there. I think they had a nice setup. They had nice early picks, but getting damaged early, using up the Kona healing stations, of course. But RMIT Black, they're not doing too bad. I like that they are playing verticals. Nice pick by Jin early on onto Goofed, who is such a menace, so taking him out early was good play there. Just not quite materializing to a round win, unfortunately. Maybe Pluto needed more support on rafters, and the fact that one player was allowed to jump into suicide without really anyone in cash to hold the cross might have been one of the other errors. But that's just the hindsight in the round, of course, so we're just going to have to see how RMIT adapt. I don't give them enough credit, but they've been playing really well. Despite the early losses on Villa, they've pulled it back really close and really tight to keep it 3-5 now on Clubhouse.
Jin trying to do one of the older spawn peaks from the balcony here. Obviously they nerfed it so the camera doesn't turn far enough to the left, but unfortunately it doesn't matter. Goof took his time coming out of spawn, and in doing so has walked away with a freebie onto Jin, who is not having a great game at the moment at all. 3 and 8 on the Oryx. They also have information on the player inside a bathroom as well. Raindrops is relatively known to Goofed here, who's going to come right on round. Some damage dealt there by the Finker, but ultimately not enough for a kill. Raindrops knows that he's hurt Goofed here a considerable amount. It's actually going to get aggressive for the push, but they still have information on him. Look at the Z pings. They know exactly where he is. Goofed's going to go for the wide swing, trying to clean this kill up, maybe. Whether or not he even nades this possibly could be an interesting choice, but they know they have this player locked down. Look at this. Everyone's starting to come in for support as well. Distance here. The nade now from Goof to force him out of the position and push the issue, but he's going to win the fight. Nietzsche will take Pluto down, but now they've got a player locked inside a strip, and Swinister, they're going to be able to do pretty much whatever they want off while they try and find this player.
Yeah, very good play by Raindrops. Quite the solid player there. I would have expected that RMIT Black might have committed another roamer to help support him, but Raindrops really forced out by the nade and pushes on to Goofed. Nice free kill there for him. Nietzsche, in the meantime, even though he does get a kill, is taken down very low, and the Fink is no longer there to heal him up. So very dangerous positioning going on. Vertical contesting coming down from the main stairs wall. Distance has somehow made it all the way down, and in fact trades with Beluga. And Raindrops is still left up in strip, and he is finally going to be able to push out. Surely there's a drone on him that has notified of him.
Yeah.
And yes, Nietzsche is there to catch him, but the plan is going down by Peepo.
And it's all up to Axe in the 1v3. He's got 1 on low HP, but it doesn't matter. Puppy's there to collect from inside of the site, and triple box the buck to close things down. That's going to put Swinister on match point as well, and sort of cement their spot here in a possibility of the dub on Clubhouse, Dubhouse as some would call it. You're crazy man from Goose. But look, at the end of the day, 6-3 here for Swinister. RMIT Black on the defense, arguably a defender-sided map. Not looking good for them.
Yeah, they've dropped 2 defense rounds so far. Not really what they want, but they've come back from worse, I'd say. They've
dropped 3, haven't they? 3-3 half.
Oh, well, at least, well, they've dropped 2 in a row on the defense.
Attackers need to locate
Considering,
and defuse
yeah, as you said, potentially a more defense-sided map, and they haven't quite materialized those wins yet. So we're just going to have to see how they change it up. They're actually going to switch off the mirror now. The mirror hasn't been working the same way it has for Swinister, where they've brought it pretty much every round. Going to be changing it up, of course. More anti-utility dedicated with the Wamai and the Jaeger. Smokes, Malusi, fairly common, and of course Chrono Stations from Pluto. Maverick going to be switched off in favor of the Buck. They're going to be relying on the Himana to get open the hatches in general. And once again, Gooft is on the Finca. I reckon RMIT Black needs at least 2 players if they are playing on the roam. And they might be able to catch out Gooft, who generally I find is actually solo entering with a drone. Because he's usually always isolated, such as the last round where he was pushing by himself in strip. Even though he does have drone support, there's always a chance that he does lose the gunfight.
No spawn peak this round though. So a better start for the defense. Unfortunately, not too much in terms of kills early on. I say that. Raindrops from the pre-fire too. A lovely headshot there on the main stairs. The second player is close by to try and play for some consolidation in terms of a refrag. But for Jin, it's not enough. He used all his pizzazz, unfortunately, today in the qualifiers. And he's sort of lacking a little bit here on Clubhouse, unfortunately. Not the regular Jin we've seen, but again, he's had a long day of Rainbow Six. He really has. So you can't really chalk it up to too much here, I don't think, this evening for him. But Nietzsche's made his way to the bottom of main stairs. Now has a cross into the bomb site to lock off those box rotations, as well as anyone playing close to the main chassis. On the sledge, it's a big thing to do. Obviously, with the 2.5 grenades as well, you've got a big position to hold. He's going to give it up, though. Go back up to the top of the main to do some more vertical for his team.
Yeah, nicely played. They're just playing it really slowly, not trying to force the issue. Goofgunberg once again on the hatch. Nice nade chuck out. Doesn't manage to find anyone. In the meantime, Nietzsche is taken to half, and the finger stem is going to bring him back up. Maybe the nade backfired on him, or just nice contesting there by the church player. But he is very likely flushed out. Gets taken down very low as Nietzsche is going to push him, in fact. Going to apply pressure so he can't quite rotate. And 1 minute to go. The attack is probably about to commit. And some more utility is going to be dedicated, trying to flush anyone out. Jin gets down, then taken down. Beluga follows very quickly. Pluto tries to force it, does take out distance, and Axe Hydra picks up another onto Gooft, bring it back to a 2v2 situation. However, the health bars are not in their favor, as 40 seconds remaining, and they're sort of slowed down now.
We've got 2 players here, one in blue, one in armory. They have the cross to play off. Pluto on low HP, no Kona stations available for him. He is going to move off of blue, though, to pick that health up. So it's going to be Peebo to open up into the back of Bar to try and get this bomb down here. The wall being muted is going to make things a lot more difficult. No grenades left in the hands of Nietzsche to make that happen. So it is going to have to be a force through the door here into the site. Here we go for the walk on in. They will spot the player inside of blue. Peebo to go down, the pistol in hand. Pluto is going to find both to hold on. RMIT Black, they find that extra round they need for a little bit of breathing room. That's their first defense round on the board.
And a very important defense win for them, RMIT Black. Only 2 wins away, but Swinister, of course, still on match point, so they still got a bit of work to do to bring it to overtime. Nicely played there, playing off each other. Pluto picking up the 2 kills, of course. But very methodical clearing, I would say, but maybe a bit slow, so they are kind of forced. The triple wall was not opened in the end, and they couldn't quite flush out the player playing in Arsenal, so they couldn't risk the hatch drop exactly. But Pluto, a very aggressive player. I think he was very important, very aggressive there, especially against the storage or boiler push player. And just confident players clutching it up. So it's very good to see. He's actually on 12-8 so far, leading the charge on his team. But Gooft is once again 17 kills, so he's very close, only 3 kills away to popping another 20. Gooft playing very consistently all through the night. So he's got a lot of energy and a lot of stamina to actually keep going the whole day.
10 seconds remaining.
Gooft has been a really highlight player, I think, through multiple seasons of Uni
5
League,
seconds left.
to the point where I actually believe he was on one of the OCL rosters, Kraken, if I'm not wrong. I might have to fact check that one. That might be Goombag I'm thinking of. Either way, Goofed, if he hasn't been on an OCL roster, definitely needs to be. Insane player. Insane player. I mean, consistently dropping 15 to 20 kills against, Jin, top Evo player, Pluto, OCN player, Axe Hydra, XCL. I mean, so many big names on this team and so many good players for RMIT Black to consistently come in and perform at a level where you are dropping that. Not only is it a dub for your team, obviously it's a dub for your own sort of standing at the end of the day, but he loves to do it. He's going to keep on doing it. Takes down Beluga early on, finds himself his 18th kill, looking for 2 more for 20. And he doesn't really need to get too aggressive to do it. He's just sort of walking around, meandering, and finding these frags as they come.
Yeah, very confident. Doesn't really... I'm not sure if I'm missing it, but he doesn't always get joined in, but he's just very confident. Always sort of predicts where players might be. A grenade is cooked, potentially catching one person. Is going to actually catch Jin, in fact. That's not what we want to see. Jin not having a fun time on Clubhouse so far. Just amazing map knowledge with good drone work, and Grift is able to pick up these kills. Finkerstim comes out, going to be bringing most of his teammates back up again. But Grift is always going to be taking heavy losses from the vertical play once again. Just as how Jin used the vertical, and now Pluto's doing the same. And they are trying to flush out the rafters. It's very important, going to be taking them out. But kills coming out from both sides, and actually Swinister end up picking up the final kill to grant them the chance to play in the grand finale, earning their right to...
It took 3 maps, but they got it done in the end. Obviously, Goofed consistently keeping his team in at 19 kills, 1 again away from another 20 bomb. Unfortunately, he wasn't allowed to get it. But at the end of the day, his team's won to finish things off. 11 from Nietzsche and 11 from distance as well. Huge numbers across the board from everybody over in the Swinster side. But at the end of the day, I mean, again, highlight player for this evening, Goofed. An insane amount of effort from him. Being put in both on the battlefield and I'm sure off the battlefield in terms of whatever prac they do. But yeah, cementing themselves as the first team locked in for the grand final and definitely looking in great form going forward into said grand final.
Yeah, Ben, unfortunately RMIT Black is now going to be dropping down to the lower bracket, but it's not them. They still have a chance to get back in. But congratulations to both teams, of course. Beautifully played. Clubhouse was definitely much closer than expected, which is really good to see that both teams are equally competitive. But of course, you can't discount Goof, as you said. Valuable star player. But of course, he can't get it done with his amazing teammates as well. They're always backing him up with the drone play. And on the other team, of course, Raindrops, Pluto, Jin, name a few. They've been really star players. Just not quite working it out on Clubhouse, unfortunately.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know who has locked themselves in for the grand final, but something else that we should touch on is our lovely sponsors. We wouldn't be having a grand final without them, and as always, we would like to thank them once more. Predator. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. Predator puts power and precision in your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance thanks to Predator.
And of course, we have AOC, the best viewing experience. AOC monitors have launched the first ever monitor crafted for League of Legends. League of Legends is represented in every aspect from the iconic Hextech design and logo to a specific game setting mode. In-game visuals achieve their fullest potential from the combination of AOC's monitor expertise with the creators of League of Legends from Riot Games. Check out the Aegon Pro AG275 QXL today at au.aoc.com.
And obviously our final sponsor, Rig, what it takes to win. Rig develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience. And with that, sponsors thanked, we would also like to let you know that if you want to find out about AEL or any upcoming events regarded with AEL, live streams included, check out AU Esports Leagues on all social medias, as well as Twitch. You can find us here at AEL Uni or over on AEL Uni 2, the backup channel, second channel, whatever you want to call it, whatever floats your boat. But other than that, it's been an amazing evening. Me, and I'm sure Commandant has had as much fun as I have as well. Congratulations to Swinister for locking their place in the grand final and we will be back next week, same time roughly, to see who walks away with that second spot. Other than that, or at least who's going to fight for that second spot. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evenings. It's been a long one. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
I live my life on the run. I say I'm not giving up. I may be living alone, but I still believe